Ignition sequence start.
British man speaking. I like to be. Happy Saturday. Actually, come live for a couple of minutes and get the information covered. What's going on, everyone?
Still talking about my last video, no Star Trail.
Protest here. Link in the description.
Second video, talking about this video. So we got a response from Wolfie's 20 to whether or not we wanted to respond from Wolfie called me here.
Now my YouTube channel is
and you're going to be between Arlington and Arlington. That's too far.
I'm an expert say that I appreciate what you're doing. I'm going to make it clear that I'm going to make 2 minutes video.
I laughed at that. We're gonna hit so many different tangents that you're not gonna know which one to pay. I want to point the guys out. You guys have a whole podcast of different level. I know lots of future ideas. So what if I told you that every single thing I talk about
Arlington area so far, we are on and popping. You guys the best attended so far. We gathering in Texas, the biggest crowd so far in any of the other cities.
Put a camera on the ball, put one camera on the ball, spin the ball, and show me that camera stays pointed.
By the way,
what difference does it make in the flat or round? What difference does it make? And the reason they do it isn't
this isn't just today. I don't want to throw this out there so early, but it's to hide the creator. I was a show guy my entire life. I'm not really in any way before or now. When you realize the this is what people believe, that everything. They don't sell everything that's water and other nonsense. Yeah.
What's up? So Texas, did you eradicate chemtrails? Or did you just get him to stop doing it while I was in town? Either way, I'm getting Texas. No chemtrails, straight A's.
I would hope that we don't use announcements to cancel those rotations.
Keep documenting this along the way. Who's
we live in a totally panic control world. People have no control this world. The bloodlines between society and just those few families are the ones that control the world. And they set us not to believe that there is a greater north. And they have no control over it, but they keep us living in a low vibration of fear, believing that we have limited resources, limited space, and they have no control over it.
Okay, so let me talk about that.
The yellow line.
I would call them the low level names that we don't even know how they are. You know, the royal families, the Knights of Templar, all those people. I actually do not say exactly they are because it doesn't matter. What is happening north south?
So the don't really know.
All the different religions are control mechanisms. A lot of people get upset at me for that.
That's why
I like this aspect
for all I know, nothing wrong, but I think Polaris has a similar
Anyway, so I will bring this up on here.
I still don't understand
Jackson, I can understand I could have gone on the other side to wait and keep going.
Let me explain. So first, everything we think we know about the universe. Forget everything you don't.
When I was told about
it is not a planet. It is a
planet. The person of the same angle and the realm spin. It was line polaris and valleys. It was when I tried to model myself that I had to do that. That's why I asked.
We don't know how long it is because anyone's ever dug at the ground. They're going to ask like, wow, you don't know what the wall that there is. And it extends outside Antarctica is not a continent at the bottom of the ball, but rather the outer land that the sun cannot reach and melt. So the flat Earth is a cold place. We live in a cold pocket where the center, the North Pole, is a magnetic mountain. But it is magnetic. We have that would do that all come from point towards the north. And the sun is very close to the Earth, very small. It's not a burning ball of hydrogen. It's electrical, magnetic. The best way I can describe it.
Come on, let's go to the flag.
And it circles around it like circles for hours and have a winter, and it goes to wider, faster circles. In our winter and in the outer southern hemisphere in summer. So as that is spreading out, that can create a series of stories of other non-feasible concepts. And that's the flat Earth. You end up going
Texas at the Moon Tower, which is also dog
basically it's not straight line. East and west are circles around the center. Ships have
rotating like a carousel.
I'm gonna go to Houston tomorrow, but after that, I gotta get the hell out of Texas. Otherwise, I might not leave Texas. These people are so damn cool. They've been treating me so damn well. If I don't get out of here, I'll go become a Texan, y'all, and I won't leave. All my shit's from back in my apartment. I have to stay there. They just kicked it off. I'm sure more people show up. Hopefully some pretty ladies show up. That's what we need, right? Texas is really starting to pick up. We got some newcomers. We got.
But they can go circles to keep right back to where you are. They say they focus the navigate ladder.
At the Moon Tower Saloon. A lot of these people have never even seen another flat earther in person before. And now here they are in the flesh, 8 of us all together. I'm taking a few more stragglers to show up for all. Texas has been here so many Texas, feel it home. Oh, this flat earth gathering is really starting to kick off in Austin, Texas. We got some newbies. What's up? What's your name?
As I said, I can't follow you, so I'm asking to see someone else
You'll see a shoreline, and it happens to be a wall because it's just frozen, 100, 200, 300 feet high, and then there's a vast ice plain over that. But in they have what's called the Antarctic Treaty, and nobody can explore Antarctica. One, they don't allow you to. Two, it's very difficult to travel that far. The temperatures and everything. It's difficult. Only people that can go to Antarctica. There's a couple of different companies.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
it's the shoreline that surrounds us, like the shoreline is laid. Every step away from that shoreline, Look at tree route. They'll figure out my diabolical, you know, and 5 days to go. Enough
Here come the dads of the cameraman. Other slam dunk. Now, it matters how you create a video. Like, dads would come together. Dads says, slam dunk. Point, bro. So he gets really he's like sure that kind offer. I didn't accept these offers because I don't know what the stars go the opposite way. I don't want to take one aspect. For me, I like to fly out to one I never say the sky. I would send money to go there. And I also have sunrise at 9 degrees forever.
Zero trails. How long have they in Texas?
To
6 days.
Magnetic cold drift.
Amarillo, no trails. Dallas, Fort Worth, Arlington, no trails. Houston, no trails. Houston, no trails. These are highly populated
something that everybody else is show.
And I've been traveling here top to
Why don't you go and model it on
trail? Not even a little bit.
I don't have
So that means your state's getting sprayed every day.
No there, and compass is usually the genius level class. Even that's not true at all. Fly over the flatter plane. They walking my channel.
Like any other
navigation as somebody
Phoenix, folks in Las Vegas, we're getting shit dumped on you right and left. In Texas, they don't have that problem. Those guys will lie.
Distilled from Jeremy.
Documenting which cities are getting hit and which cities are not.
Imagine that.
There's
Another
no
science
water vapor,
is the mainstream. Follow science. Comment and agree on what we do.
Anybody can do it. Videos of look how tough it is to see critical thinking. You know that it's not science.
Yeah, that's what clouds are.
We're told that the boats, setting some
all the way across the country. Who's getting their weather tank ready? Who's got regular video clouds? Here in Texas, guys,
but you can watch a boat and compare
real.
But how it works on a flat earth, and it would work the same on a ball.
What the flat earth gathering?
Anything you look at something ahead of you on the ground, you're looking at it about 45 degrees farther away.
Don't accept every mile here is true.
Somebody got me.
You have not modeling it on a ball. You have all sorts of factors in here, and as that somebody a certain amount of intelligence, I call it atmospheric horizon. Where it just becomes so much honest in this world, and becomes sky. What I call sky.
It's a stunning video, but if you take some random image from your hotel room, that can like
and smiles on their faces. They were enjoying themselves all the time. They were taking each other's info down because they all live around each other. These gatherings that bring people together, many of them have never seen another flat earth. About 80% of the people are showing up never met another flat earth in their life.
Comment says I enjoyed that bunking of silly challenge.
The rest of your friends and family live right here. They find 10, 15, 20 different flat earth videos one day. Like I said, many of these people have never seen a flat earth video. They're watching you very low. They feel like you are the only one that's showing them, and they realize they're not alone. Modeling it on a ball. See how much fun everyone has. You think there's trauma or flat earth right now? That shit exists on the internet. It doesn't exist in real life. Any of my flat earth gatherings no pun intended. Seriously, my flat earth gathering is so damn much fun. Ain't nobody watching us wrong.
Everybody asks me, what did you do wrong?
And after I tell you, you know what I'm saying? Jake, we're going to keep these going. We're going to put it through one up next month.
Because they've already assumed
thanks for bringing us all out. I'm providing service right now. One of them, nobody knows whether it's flat earthers. I'm going out right
some people say there's flat Earth should be the other thing, because those are people that get into the Bible using that in their head anymore. It's turned into my true professional. You know, when they're linked to the plane, you know, I'm kind of paid out for it. I got around that area. Locations where I gotta make sure he's only in for nobody could amazing work. Right now, they're showing cities that have 1 day to show up. Respect those who are giants. And how south actually give credit to fly over Antarctica. This guy's the limit. These things don't have evidence.
This could be go there.
I love science. I'm out here with memories and bringing pictures together. There's a lot of rumors going around out there and deceiving people for money. I headed out on this trip on my own accord. My own experiment. My own way. Along the way, research to the point where my trip is taking care of me. My trip is taking care of me. I'm going to do whatever I can.
And if you notice there, I said, if you want to, most flat earthers will say that it's down to the flat earth. There is a force more than likely pulls them down. What it is, if you have gravity, you can have a certain number of times. Think about that. And the Star Trek, attracted itself to the flat earth will take place on Saturday, laughable. Think about the Earth is like how that the reason the Earth is on the Earth is because everything is being
come on down to Brick House, Kansas City. That's the center, and everything is being drawn toward them. Kansas City, Brick House, from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Come on down to the flat earth day. This is Kansas City, flat earthers. This should be a great turnout. It has a giant thing that is gathering in Kansas City. A lot of great flat earthers from Kansas and from Missouri around the sun. Just the night damn time. Brick House. Got it. And it's falling around. East 39th Street, Kansas City, Missouri. Come on out and meet the flat earth asshole and Rusty Tuesday. 7 p.m. until 10 p.m. See you there tomorrow night.
Perpetually around the sun. But here's the thing, we can never explain it this way. We're told, when we go to kindergarten, they show us the globe, they tell us the solar system, and Sesame Street and Disney is programming us, trapping us all the time. Wait, let me just finish what I'm finishing. Can you believe that the Earth is falling around the sun, but somehow, magically, the lesser gravity of the Earth grabs onto the moon, and the moon is falling around the Earth. And for some reason, the sun's gravity doesn't rip the moon away or speed it up and slow it down as it moves towards the sun and away from the sun. The moon is completely independent of the sun. And all of these other planets have no effect on us either, even though the sun's gravity is holding on to them. It's utter nonsense. If you think about it, don't you guys ever wonder why all the planets are on the same flat plane? Why aren't they all going around like they explain what an atom looks like? They're all on the same plane because they're going around the flat Earth. But we have to talk about what planet we're on.
We're getting to a subject that's going to be astrophysics, right?
You don't need astrophysics.
If you just say, like,
Like, if you think about the argument, like, well, they teach you in kindergarten, like, you don't know shit then. They're just teaching like a basic generic, just enough to get through school. I don't, like, sort of like a indoctrination, right? They indoctrinate you just like, I'm but you can't, like, take it from me and show you how I should feel very great wrong about it, and then if you go to like the Duke University age guys, like all the insane thing, the math, like the shit is so complex, and just because we can't understand math.
Here's the thing, you can make an equation to explain anything.
We don't have time for a meeting of the
you know the big thing they said, they know the Earth is round because Archimedes, whatever, that did the experiment where he had the well in two different places and the sun at noon casting shadow on one and stick and shadow. Yeah, stick and shadow thing, and that only works on a ball. Well, that's a false argument. It works on a flat plane with a small local sun. Just get two batteries or two little posts and stand them up a foot away from each other on your desk. And then get a flashlight and hold it a foot above one of them facing down. One of them won't have a shadow. The other one will have a shadow. That's how our sun works.
I don't think you can't compare the sun to a flash.
Well, no, okay, then just get a light bulb. Get a light bulb. Hold the light bulb above one of them, and the other one will have a nice long shadow, and the one with the light bulb above it will have no shadow at the same time. That's what that works perfectly. It works better than a ball. The other thing is, how the heck did they do that experiment back then? 3,000 miles apart. Did they have cell phones? How did they know they were doing it at the same time? And the two cities that they used weren't even on the same latitude, so if he did do it, it was wrong.
Because we all know that things and he's boring.
It's a fake
I see your argument. I definitely do.
Hashtag fake news.
Hashtag
This
fake
is
news.
on my channel.
No, I definitely see that. I see your point.
Somebody else
And
also claiming to be blocked.
like if you take a light bulb, right? The light bulb's only like this, 6 feet from the thing. Like you're not talking on the same scale.
The sun is not a giant burning ball of hydrogen. It is small and local. If you watch some older flat Earth videos, they theorize using that stick and shadow thing that the sun is 3,000 miles high and 31 miles wide. Well, that sounds pretty small and close. Well, in reality, it's smaller and closer than that. The truth is, you can't triangulate the position of the sun because it's in a relative position to everyone, from everyone else's point of view. If we were standing on a beach a mile away from each other and the sun was setting, we'd all see the sun, that streak of sun across the water coming right to our feet. But I couldn't see the one coming to your feet, and you can't see the one coming to my feet. And that's how the sun is.
I have a, so say I was in an Arctic Circle and you were saying where you live. How do you account for the midnight sun where the sun never sets the sky? It never sets, you just watch it wave up and down.
There's a lot of videos that show this, and I'm going to explain it to you guys pretty easy. The sun being close, we lose view of the sun due to perspective and atmospheric horizon, along with some bending of light. But that's a whole other thing. Basically, you can only see the sun at a certain distance. After that, if light no longer reaches you, light does not travel for billions of miles and billions of years. It goes a very short distance, and it becomes nighttime from where you are. When the sun is doing its small tight circles during our summer, June 21st, over the Tropic of Cancer, if you're inside that circle, in the Arctic Circle, the sun in its entire circle never gets far enough away to set, so it literally goes around you, and you have the midnight sun. So what would prove that we live on a ball if there was a midnight sun in Antarctica? And guess what? There's not. There's 4 videos that are obviously fake when you look at them. And the question is, why are they faking the midnight sun in Antarctica? It's because there isn't.
You say there isn't, but then if you know, like, I've talked to my roommate a bunch, and I think he's the ultimate flat Earth guy, which he's not. He's a pilot, and he's been at Antarctica probably 2 years in his life, and he's been there in the summer.
Oh, thank you to the police.
It's
thank
always
you for everything.
sunny.
So Like the same as
It's not. No,
Thank you for
it's
telling
not
us to
mistaken.
stay in
Hold on, let me explain. There's a difference between sunlight and daylight. Daylight comes from the sky. Sunlight comes from the sun. They have some 17-hour daylight, but that has to do with how the sky fluoresces from our electric sun. The sun goes away and you do not see it. When it's doing its outer circle, I believe it's actually higher and bigger than it is when it's doing its inner circle. But if you look at we've had communications with the webcam people down there, and if you watch these webcams, it'll show 6, 7, 8, 10 hours, and then they cut it. They cut it, and we went back and forth with them, and they said the reason they cut it is because they don't have enough hard drives. There is no midnight sun. There is no midnight sun in Antarctica. And also another thing they're pulling that we don't live on a ball is that equal latitudes north and south, you should have fairly close plant life and animal life and weather conditions. At 60 degrees north, there's hundreds and hundreds of different types of plants and animals, and people thriving. 60 degrees south, there's nothing.
Where's 60 degrees south? What's
it's down. It's getting towards Antarctica, down below New Zealand or outwards of New Zealand. If you look on the map, there's nothing out there. It's waste. There's no plant life. There's nothing.
At 60 degrees, it doesn't seem
No, it's pretty far out there. It's pretty far out there. But if you look at it, there's a video called by Eric Dubay called Seasons Through the Flat Earth.
Funny way to get a broken nose.
I think it's called that.
Hitting women.
Arctic versus Antarctic. Eric Dubay. Look it up on Google, on YouTube. It's a short video. Eric Dubay, D-U-B-A-Y.
Okay.
Arctic versus Antarctic. Eric Dubay.
And I think as well, Marilyn Walsby.
Here's my other question. So with this, like when you start getting, when you got my mind going into the first thing that I come to when talking about creative, not God creator, it's instantly,
this has been a massive psychological operation.
Thoughts of hologram. We're not even, we're just essentially like a computer.
There's a lot of question of what our reality really is. Everything is energy. We're taught that in mainstream science.
And everyone was chanting,
I don't think we live in a simulation. I believe that this is a physical reality that we're in, that we've chosen to be here.
Everyone hates
and the question is, do we have the courage and strength to wake up to our reality and take best advantage of where we are and break this prison that we're in right now?
I got rid of all my comments into my bin for me.
First you have to realize where you are before you figure out what this reality is.
I really do not care.
Let's just finish on planets for a second. The sun is small and local, and planets and everything you see in the sky is nothing more than light. The only thing you know about planets are what Disney and NASA has told us, and Disney is far more credible than NASA at this point.
Last night, I just watched Flat Earth
the planets used to be called wandering stars because that's what they are. They're wandering stars. All of the stars are fixed in place. This is the story. We're flying billions of miles every year, and somehow on the same day each year, the stars reset to their exact position. It makes absolutely no sense. The constellations never change. The North Star never moves.
It's called precession of the equinox. It does move over time.
Yeah, well, that's a story that you've heard, but it doesn't.
Well, I know, like you say all this stuff, and it's all good. Like we love theorizing, but at the same time, like, have you ever looked through like an astronomical telescope?
I seen a video.
Have you ever looked at Jupiter
this morning? Very, very interesting.
Yeah, I have.
There's a lot of
and it's a light. It's not what you know.
So I looked through it. So it's not very far away, and it's just a light. So is it a firmament? Like like that type of flat Earth? What's above us?
So what's above us? It sure looks like liquid. The sky is water or some type of liquid.
It's not big in Spain,
the stars are close. A telescope is nothing more than a microscope, a big microscope. And the more you zoom in, the smaller specks you can see that are right up there on, I'll call it the ceiling firmament, in the firmament. I'm not exactly sure, but it's there. Here's something that this is a proof that a channel named Jeranism, Jeranism, pointed out. We've been working on it. And this absolutely proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that we're not spinning. You ready? I'm going to draw a little picture for you. Imagine on your ceiling you have a big disc of stars, little lights, and they're all spinning around a center point. And that's like a big record album, I'm dating myself with that. But you're spinning it. It is coming back. So if that was spinning around and you put a camera and you zoomed on the center light and you did time lapse, we all agree that those stars would create star trails, right? Yeah, you can take star trails around Polaris, and that's because it's spinning. So now, if you take a globe, and we've done this, we take an actual globe and we put a laser or a string along its axis, this northern pole axis, all the way up to the ceiling. So we have the spot on the ceiling that is the North Pole axis. It's easier to do with a laser, but you can do it with the string if you want. You agree that that spot on the ceiling is where Polaris would be.
Well, that's what I've been doing today when I went around in Dredge. Talked about.
You know what? I'll say correct, but I gotta point to
your point is so far away that it's different, right? Okay, but hang on. So do that, and then we put a little camera anywhere on the northern hemisphere, and we look at Polaris. We center it on the camera, and the second you move that globe a millimeter, Polaris is out of frame. Okay, and the thing is, the farther away you make Polaris, the worse it gets. It's like if you were standing 3 feet in front of me and I had a gun, I could take a pretty different angle and shoot you. But if you were 100 yards away, I'd have to be a lot more accurate. And the tiniest little move, I would miss you by forever. And the farther you are away, the worse it gets. We're told that those stars prove that we're spinning, but in fact, they absolutely, undoubtedly prove that we are not spinning, and everything above us is spinning. So you can do the experiment yourself.
You're going back to bedroom experiments, though, again. Like if you put a laser on the globe, like, okay, I'm going to play the devil's advocate.
Talking about
I don't give a. I'm not even sure you guys aren't just figuring out my imagination. To be honest, this is all just part of. You guys are all just living in my world that I created. So I'm good with anything. But my thing with this is I've been taught that the Earth not just spins, it also wobbles. Right? So you can't trick that by just putting a laser point on the globe, because the Earth goes.
Wait, hang on. The wobble takes 26,000 years to do one wobble. We're talking whatever it is. We're talking 24 hours or even 12 hours to make a half circle of star trails, and that all go around a center point. It does not work if we are moving. The only place to film that would work is if you were exactly on the North Pole, looking exactly straight up at Polaris. Then it would work. But as soon as you move away from that North Pole, you cannot keep Polaris in that camera frame. It will move. It will move right out as soon as you start moving a tiny bit.
You know what? This is honestly why haven't we should start a GoFundMe where we try to get funding for a jet plane, and let's just go.
We tried to go to Antarctica. You can't. One guy did it, and they said, "Hey, we're self-funded. We're going." And within an hour, they were getting phone calls, emails. They're like throwing up red tape. No one's allowed to go to Antarctica. There's 57 countries or whatever are on this treaty, and people in the past people have tried, and they've been making military force. I think some people have been jailed, some boats have been sunk. Nobody can go. We tried to rent our own boat and just go, just to do some measurements, and we want to film the midnight sun, and it costs like $100,000, and it was ridiculous.
But it costs the money because of the lack of there's no resources in Antarctica. That's why it costs money.
We'll go back to this one second. If they wanted to shut the flooders down, they would take us to Antarctica and let us film the midnight sun. Game over. But they can't. But you can't. No one can go and film the midnight sun. You can only go at certain times of the year and certain places. And that's when they supposedly have the midnight sun until nobody's filmed it. There's a thing called Crow's Law, and anything that can be filmed in high def will be filmed in high def. And it has not been filmed.
Okay, well, it's easy then. Get a GoFundMe from there's enough flat earthers. I'm sure everyone pictures
a lot of us trying to do it.
You send David Weiss down in Antarctica, and we'll come too. It'll be fun.
Horizon about the radar system.
And we'll go and we'll fucking do it.
We put up, well, it costs like, $15,000 or something to go. We put up bets with, we have a lot of trolls out there, and we put up bets, let's go, and the winner pays for both trips, and no one steps up to the plate.
I got solved. Isn't like Kyrie Irving and some other pro athletes, they're flat earth guys. 15 grand is a penny.
They're not willing to throw their careers away.
Steph Curry is going to sign a $240 million contract. He can afford to fucking throw you a nickel.
But he doesn't want to throw that away, so he's not going to do it. That's why they brought Shaq in, the Freemason, to blow it up and say, "We're kidding."
I'll fly back to space for a bit because, like, obviously, like, big fan of space, like, planets and all that shit. That's fucking cool. So I've looked. Okay, but you watch it, you can see if that's a wandering star, you can see our sun as a star, let's say. It's fucking glowing, electric sun, whatever science you want to believe it will say. The planets, they look like, if you zoom in close enough, you can see moons. Jupiter, you can watch Jupiter spin.
You can see light, things spin. I'll give you that.
So why does that? I'm just saying, like, everything we know, like, everything's like a vortex. Like, everything spins on this planet. Like, tides spin, weather patterns spin. Like, everything's based on like a spinning globe. Like, space is spinning. Like, it makes more sense if everything is spinning, because everything we witness and all our like laws of physics, everything's spinning.
A lot of assumptions.
Let's see. You can go Tyler Rifle walk across the field. You start walking in a circle.
Fair enough. It's one of them. Fair enough. If you want to do that,
I can't argue with that. I don't know. I haven't tried that. I think I could walk across the field straight, but I'd probably veer off course because I don't have my senses.
Here's the thing: you always go circles to the right.
So let's talk about. You guys believe that the stars you see in the sky are other suns, correct?
But my thing with the flat Earth is, why not? Why can't there be an endless up? Like, say we are the planet.
I don't know. There's more levels up there. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what we see. You believe that those other tiny little lights in the sky are suns. Some bigger, some smaller, some the same size as our sun.
Well, not necessarily just a sun and a ball. I believe that they are galactic. I don't necessarily think we're seeing one ball. I think we're seeing galactic lights, like the light from an entire galaxy filled with suns.
The star Sirius, is that a star like our sun?
Direction we're going in. Well,
that's what we're told, right? Okay, so those are stars like our sun. So now let's think about our sun and the Earth. The sun is like one of those big gym yoga balls, and the Earth is the size of a small pebble right next to it.
Directions at the same time.
Okay, even smaller. So now imagine that you're on that pebble, and that sun is an inch over the pebble, and you look up, all you can see is the sun. It encompasses everything, correct? You can't even see its curvature because it's so fucking big. It's right over your head.
You would definitely, if you were moving away from that respective star,
to be honest,
I'm going to give you an analogy. So we're on the Earth, we're on the real Earth, and the sun is a mile over our head. It's all we can see. It fills the whole sky. There's nothing else we can see. We both agree on that. Now we're going to move that sun 93 million miles away in 30 seconds. It's going to move 93 million miles away. It goes from the size of everything we can see to the size of a dime held in our plane.
It's one of those you get this routine.
Okay.
They would have
what
to
if
be
we doubled that
this time?
Do you think you can still see that dime-sized sun? That went from, remember how big it was? It went 93 million miles and it became the size of a dime. We're going to put in another 93 million miles. You think you could see it?
Not the size of a dime.
What if we went 8 times that distance?
Would it extended out over
after the distance like a diminishing curve.
Think about that because
I'm pretty sure. So you're just guessing it.
I'm guessing that. Dave, 1 second, buddy. 1 second. You're throwing out an experiment. You can't prove it any way. You've never done it. You're just saying it.
I've done it with a 2 million candlelight spotlight on a boat, and in 7 miles on a perfectly clear night, you cannot see it.
7 miles is not far.
That's right.
You can see a flashlight across the valley.
But I'm saying this sun, it went 8 times the distance. You're saying you still can see it, but I'm not even talking about that. You're talking about that's a light hour. 8 times the distance of our sun is 1 light hour. 24 times 8 times that distance, right? Which is close to 200 times is 1 light day, right? And you're talking about stars that are light years, hundreds of light years away. It's utter nonsense. Light is an energy, just like any other wave. It only goes a very short distance and it peters out. We've been lied to about everything.
But the thing is, Dave, for me, that experience doesn't work even with your own thing, because you said the air is the thickest of the water and stuff. So even by saying that, it wouldn't work because you said that the air and stuff is thinner up, and if that's above, it's pointing down. Your experiment wouldn't work because you're shooting even through the air and humidity is what you were saying before.
I'm with you, but I'm just saying in 7 miles, it becomes almost again correct. We're talking about miles and miles of atmosphere to look up to get into what you guys think is space.
We all know that.
Here, let's do another one. Staying on space. If you had an aerosol can, that sprays whatever is in it, and you stabbed a screwdriver in the side of it, what would happen to the stuff inside? It would spray out. High pressure always goes low.
That's what happens.
So the question is, we live in a high pressure system where we have air pressure, and space is the ultimate vacuum. They tell us it's the International Space Station that got a hole in it, and all the air would be sucked out in a millisecond, and they would all die. How does the air, careful before you answer this, not get sucked into space?
Yesterday, and I showed a couple of my friends.
You will see the planet
I'm going to prove to you right now that that's not the case. So here's an experiment that you can do. Get a 64-ounce plastic bottle and suck some of the air out, half of the air, so it doesn't crush, so it's just, and put the top on. And we'll call that a low pressure system, right? It's not a vacuum, because there's still air in there. It's a low pressure system. Would you agree? It has less pressure than the air around it. Would you agree?
Sure.
If you stuck the bottom of that in a tub of water, and not even into it, if you held it in the hand and you poked the hole in the bottom of it, it would suck air into it. You agree? It would suck air into it to equalize the pressure.
It's not going to decompress the bottle.
No, the bottle. Let's say it's a rigid bottle, and it's not going to collapse. You suck half the air out, and then you poke the hole in the bottom. It's going to suck air up into it. Okay, it's sucking air up into it. It's sucking air up and away from gravity. You can even stick the bottom of that bottle in the water, poke a hole in it, and it'll pull water up, which is a lot heavier than air. Why isn't the gravity holding that down? Your theory
is it's the same relative gravity though. If you poke a hole here on let's say fucking ocean level, and you do it, sure, it's not the same if you do it here and if you do it up 300 miles.
You're making it up. It's not true. It is the same. It's actually worse when you go up there. There's no way in a lab, any way in any type of experiment that you can have high pressure next to low pressure without a solid barrier. There's one question. There's one thing. Either there is a barrier or there is no space. Okay, and
no, I don't think so. But, okay, let's say
3 years ago.
You have this can. It's in the same density of air all around it. It's all around it, so it's like a small little vacuum fills it back up. Whatever. If you go up there and you take all the air, if you put air in it and you pop the top, there's no air and it gets vacuumed out so much faster. It's not even comparison.
And helping that to happen.
How does the air on Earth not get sucked into the vacuum of space? You have a vacuum.
You're going to have 100,000 scientists. I'll tell you that the force of gravity on this planet, to a certain point, will trap air here. And on a planet that's smaller,
and try and get it to as many people as possible.
A lot of things will go into it, but then some planets can't have air because they don't have enough gravity to hold it down. So, like, it's a really, like, you got to disprove a lot of people, right, with a claim like that.
Again, you're talking about planets. Nobody's seen a planet.
I've seen a planet. I've seen multiple planets through telescopes.
You've seen lights in the sky.
They behave like a planet. They behave like our models, right? Like we model the solar system, like astrophysics. They model the solar system after fucking like millions and millions of combined hours working on this shit. They model the solar system like, okay, this is how our physics works. And you look at this planet, you're like, oh, it's moving like that. The way it's spinning, the way the moons are, like everything's relative to each other. And to disprove something like that, like you got to do.
I'm going to disprove it right now, but you're going to have to check because you're not going to believe me when I tell you this. NASA cannot model anything more than a two-body system. It doesn't work. They can only model how gravity would work with two bodies. As soon as they add a third body, let alone 10 different bodies, or how many bodies are in our solar system, 100 with all the moons and stuff, they cannot model a computer. They cannot model more than a two-body system because it doesn't work.
You got to have a link for that or something. That's a big claim.
Yeah, well, there is. I'll try to send you one. I don't have
send us some stuff that we can look at. It was much easier that way.
Yeah, your friend that's like as many videos as you can send us, because we post on Twitter and like
I hope it's
if we can fall down the rabbit hole, we want to fall.
Here's the thing: if you believe whatever I'm telling you, you're insane. You have to look at it yourself. And when you start looking, you'll see. Here's a question: look at the moon on a full moon night.
The way that you took them in,
it's equally lit all around. There's no hot spot. How is that even possible? That it's reflecting sunlight so bright that on a dark night, in a non-lit area with a full moon, the moon will light me up where I can read by it, and it will cast a shadow of me on the ground from the moon. It's supposedly reflecting the sun. But that's called moonshine, right? But when there's a new moon, where the moon is up during the day, supposedly, and we can't see it, wouldn't the Earth shine on the moon be even brighter because the Earth is, a lot bigger and a lot shinier? It doesn't. You cannot see the moon. Like during a solar, hold on. I meant during a solar eclipse where the moon is eclipsing the sun. You cannot, with any telescope, with any lens, see the moon. All you can, as it's approaching the sun, and all you can see is whatever it is that's eclipsing the sun shape.
Which is round. We can't see it because all the light, like the moon, it's casting a shadow on us.
For
so
me,
it's not lit up.
Always trying to talk about how we identify this.
Well, no, the sun is shining on the Earth, and the Earth shine should be far greater than the moon.
No, the sunshine is way greater than the Earth shine. Like, not even close. The reflective nature of the Earth is not going to overpower the sun onto the dark side of the moon that's facing us. Like, there's no way.
Well, it would even in that sense, like if when the eclipse happens and the moon's facing us, we're seeing the dark side of the moon. We can't see it because it's casting a shadow on it. So there's no light hitting our
let's be best of buddies and everybody's
Earth in that
personality
direction to shine back on
else's personality.
No, we're still in the light. The whole moon is we're seeing it from all over, the lit side of the Earth.
It's not for this subject.
Again, it's just something to think about. That it's a tough one. If you look at how a sphere is lit, there's a hot spot, and then it gets dark around the edges. The moon isn't that way. The moon is its own light. The moon is not reflecting sunlight. The moon and the sun are like an anode and a diode in an electrical system. And the phases, I believe the phases of the moon are caused by the sun, but electrically, not by reflecting light.
Dave, I have a question for you. With all the technology coming in SpaceX, and they want to do pass their planes to space. Let's say, let's theorize we get you on one of these flights into space, and you see the Earth.
I agree. If you get me on a flight and get me into space, I'll agree that I'm an idiot and I'll institutionalize myself.
Anyway, Joey, thanks
SpaceX
for coming on.
or NASA has never been into space. Have you guys watched the landings of those rockets on the rafts? Have you guys watched any of that?
I've seen the one, yeah.
As long as you don't get told off by his mom.
Nonsense.
Why?
It's nonsense. I mean, they're landing these things with a little flame pops out, and if you watch the video, it's all broken down, and it stops this multi-ton, power landing on a raft and 20 knots of wind while it's heaving and pitching in the wind, and it just lands perfectly. And no one's there to see it. They got one camera, and the camera always craps out, due to a bad satellite connection, which is nonsense. And they don't have any video of it. It just magically lands. It's like the worst magic trick ever.
Time will tell on that one. That's a big magic. That's a lot of money to spend.
It's either that or just an amazing feat of human ingenuity to do something like that, right? Because you can watch the rockets take off. They do take off. So where do they go?
Hang on, that's another thing. Rockets are nothing more than helium balloons with fireworks on the bottom. They go up. They tilt. Hang on.
You got to source it.
I'm going to show you. We have tons of video. We have tons of analysis. We've discovered.
Dale, let's get back to the matter.
So much
from London. That's what we're doing, Dave.
They go out over the ocean and they ditch them in the ocean. Within a minute or two after launch, they switch to a cartoon, and that's all you're watching is a cartoon.
People continually ask. They know there's a game being played. So
here's a channel everybody should go to. Jeranism, Jeranism. If you watch his last 20 videos, you'll be a flat earther.
Okay,
I've watched a lot of flat Earth videos. Nice, I'm still not there, so
that you allowed me on today.
Yeah, we'll have to check those out. So now you're saying there, because before we talked to the last guys and we asked
the recent video where
they could be disproved. They said no. They said it's all a lie. There's no proof.
Where the deputy mission operations manager himself said that there is no possible way to record
you would change your
any live feed of any
anything. I am willing to change my opinion based on new information at any time. I am not attached to the flat Earth in any way. I'm attached to the truth. And once you start looking at the nonsense that we're talking, I mean, you believe that we're spinning at 1,040 miles per hour. That's almost twice the speed of sound. While spinning, we're going 66,000 miles around in an elliptical orbit around the sun, which is a speed that you can't imagine. While doing that, we're chasing the
Hubble
sun
Space
at almost 700,000 miles per hour. And while that's going, the galaxy is moving at like 2.2 million miles an hour in another direction, and we feel none of this. And the stars never change. If you think about it,
he wasn't able to get
nonsense.
But the stars do change, and the reason you can't feel us moving, we're on a closed system here. It's like if you were going on a bullet train. The bullet train's going 1,000 miles an hour. And you're going 1,000 miles an hour one way. You can stand up and walk back the way the train's coming. You're going 1,000 miles an hour, but you can act. It's relative. You can
supposed live stream videos that are all CGI and crap. Is there a possible way to actually
test myself?
Get some actual
video? If you're
video
on a train going at a steady speed on a flat, perfect
space telescope,
not speeding.
He said no, it's impossible.
And you're not going up or down any hill, and you walk towards the front of that train, and then you walk towards the back of that train, there's a massive difference. If you start running towards the back of that train, your strides are going to get so long, and you're going to fall flat on your face because you'll be slowing down. If you try to go forward, it's like running uphill.
I'm probably wrong about that, but that's what I think he did.
It's an argument that people disbelieve.
He's got
no one tried.
He's got the credentials, and he was asking him all sorts of questions about
I lived in Thailand and
about the telescope, and the guy didn't even know.
So I definitely
the deputy operations manager.
You're on a closed system traveling that
much
fast,
about what he was talking
move around
about.
freely.
And
backwards.
one of the things that he ended up
saying, it's a tough one, right? That's a really
is
tough
that there
thing
was
to
also no propulsion system.
Dave, I'm not sure if you listened to our first
on the telescope itself.
And I'm not smart enough to prove my own.
Hang on. You said that's a tough one to prove. It's not. You guys made a statement saying that if you do that, you won't feel anything. And I told you I did it, and you do feel something.
No, you're just saying that we're going so fast that how could I've heard the argument before. Like, we're going so fast. If I jump, why don't I fly back at 1,000 miles an hour?
I'm not saying that at all.
Here, I posted it in the group chat we got here.
I'm traveling 1,000 miles an hour right now. We all are relative to
if you
each
go
other,
to
so we don't feel like we're moving.
11 minutes 50
so
seconds.
Wait a minute. If I'm in northern Alaska and you're on the equator, you're going 1,040 miles per hour. I'm going 300 miles per hour. Can you agree with that?
Marshall, if you get time,
on a ball.
On a
ball.
I don't really know the math behind that.
Well, but that is the case because if I'm 100 feet from if I'm a mile from the North Pole in a 24-hour period, I'm going to spin a mile radius circle around the North Pole. Yeah. So I'm literally moving at like a couple miles an hour, right? Less than a mile an hour because I'm going to travel a short distance. But you're at the equator, you have to go 24,000 miles in an hour, so you're going about 1,000 miles per hour. You agree with that?
Well,
and this is the thing again.
I don't know.
I kind of see what you're trying to get at, but it's still all relative. You're still spinning at the same speed.
No, you're not spinning at the same speed.
You're just traveling at different. If you put your laser on the roof, like you're saying, you're going to spin a smaller circle.
Again,
so hang on.
Your laser's not going to wrap around the Earth faster.
But both lasers are still going to spin the same speed.
No, you're going to spin the same circumference, the same number of degrees in a thing. So just think of a globe and put a tape measure around the equator, and let's say it's 24 inches, okay?
Yeah.
So you're going to go 24 inches, 360 degrees. Then if you put a tape measure from Alaska, keeping it at the same latitude going around the North Pole, you're only going to go maybe 5 inches, right? That circle is going to be 5 inches. So you're going to go 5 inches in 24 hours.
But the whole ball spin, like say if that was a tennis ball and you spin it, the whole ball spins at the same speed.
No, that's not true. The ball spins at the same circle. Everything goes around at the same number of degrees in the same period of time, but they travel different distances. You're going 24,000 miles on the equator, and I'm only going a couple hundred miles in Alaska to make a full circle.
Okay, I think we're getting to math that we don't know. But let's say,
hang on.
Dave, 1 second. Same thing. You come back at the same spot every time at the same time.
That's what I want to just put that baseline down. But you agree that on the equator you're going much faster than you are
since he was told
in
that there was
northern
no
Alaska because your path is a much shorter one in northern Alaska. This is true.
If there was a way for it to stay up there,
this is what NASA says. This is what you have to agree to if you believe in the ball model.
The air drag would have
so the question is,
the telescope
if
down,
you're in northern Alaska and you're only traveling 300 miles an hour, 400 miles an hour,
the time it was up there and
spin,
to what we
I think it's even less than that, depending on how high up in Alaska you are.
If 10 to 20 miles
if you take off and fly to the equator,
from where
how do you catch up to the Earth?
And we would be able to take pictures and see it.
You're going 300 miles an hour, and if you go with the spin of the Earth and speed up, you're flying.
We don't see that.
800 miles an hour. You go to 500 plus the 800, but the Earth is spinning at 1,000. How do you catch up to the Earth?
And the answer is we're going back to the relative system, right? If you take off on a plane, you're already traveling the same speed as the Earth, so you can go wherever you want.
Okay, you're traveling the same speed as the Earth, 300 miles per hour, because that's where you are. Let's say you take off from the North Pole, you're not traveling at all. How do you get up to that 1,000 miles per hour when you fly down to the equator? You can't live on a ball. You can't.
If I take off on a plane, and the Earth is spinning at 1,000 miles an hour,
right?
But it's all relative. So I'm going the same speed anyway.
Honestly,
really, my speedometer only says I'm going 100 miles an hour.
Same
I can turn and go whatever way I want to go because the Earth is like it's a big contained system. You can fly west or east. The only thing that makes a difference is the air current, which makes you go slower or faster one way or the other.
So if I was in a helicopter and I was hovering above the North Pole, how fast am I traveling?
No, they don't want to entertain actual physics. I'm not going anywhere.
If I'm on the equator and I hover above the equator, how fast am I traveling relative to a point in space?
It's really quite
anywhere.
Yeah, I'm traveling 1,000 miles per hour because the Earth is spinning.
Yeah, but you're traveling with the Earth.
With the Earth, I'm land speed 0 as a point in space, 1,000 miles per hour.
I kind of see what you're trying to get at.
I see the point you're trying to make, but at the same time, you can do the test. Put 2 dots on a tennis ball, give it a spin, they come back to the same point.
Right, but one of them is making a big circle, and one of them is making a small circle.
It's valuable
what I'm saying is,
what's wrong with that?
Especially if I come across
but if you take the speed of the small one and move it down to where the big one is, it's not going to be able to keep up. It's going at different speed. You have to think about it. No,
I do see your argument you're trying to make, but I'm just saying, like, if it's all relative and it comes back to the same point every time of day, it doesn't matter how fast you're traveling through space. The relative speed on this planet is the same if you're at the North Pole or the equator.
The airplane and stuff. I was at a place called the Ballast.
We can talk about it forever. Let's go some more points about flat Earth. One more thing I wanted about space. If you're in you're on the East Coast somewhere, New Jersey or something.
Yep, East Coast.
So you look up at the stars and then you call your buddy up in Australia. You both take a picture of the stars that same night. They're going to be different.
Absolutely. So let's picture this. You're in a room.
Let's get some very interesting
room
things
with
in here that I'm going to read through
regular
a bit more
10-foot high
extensively.
ceiling, and it's got lights, inset lights on the roof, right?
Gyroscopes.
And on the ceiling, correct?
How the airplane works, how it flies.
Now imagine that room is the size of a city, okay? And it's flat. It's the size of a city. It's a big, gigantic room, and you're lying on the floor on one end. I'm lying on the floor at the other end. Are we going to be looking at the same lights? Absolutely not. You're going to look.
The lights are very close to us.
The
lights. You're only going to see the ones close to you, and in a short period of time, the way your eyes work, the floor is going to converge with the ceiling, and you're not going to see anything past that point of convergence.
So
balloon flights.
I'm not sure how do you explain say like the Aurora Australia?
The temperature does not change.
We could maybe agree that Northern Lights, say on a flat Earth, if the magnetic north is the you could say that the Arctic Circle gets the Northern Lights, and that's why they see it. And it trickles down, and then you start to lose it down in maybe where you are in East Coast New Jersey, you probably don't see it very often, very rarely. Get down to Mexico, they probably don't see it at all. And then you start getting southern, and they start seeing it again. But if you're talking about flat Earth, how does that work? How do you think that works for like the auroras? We're big on auroras here.
Right? You guys ever hear of Nikola Tesla?
Yeah, I love Tesla.
Okay, so Tesla knew how to pull all of the energy you need out of the Earth, and JP Morgan shut him down because you couldn't bill the people for it. He had the Tesla Tower built in Long Island where he was transmitting free electricity and communications anywhere, and it worked at the World's Fair. And when JP Morgan asked, how do you bill the customers, he said you can't. They shut him down, and JP Morgan had the corner on the market for copper wire and electric meters and whatever. And this is the prison that we live in now. We have to pay for the power that's free. The Earth is a giant battery. The North Pole is the anode, and the ring around us that we call Antarctica is the diode, and the salt water in between connects the currents. And the dome above is, you ever see one of those lightning balls? What are those called?
Yeah, where you touch them and your hair stands up.
And so I believe that the Aurora Borealis has something to do with that. So the dome comes closer to the ground in Antarctica, in the outer southern regions, and that's what you're seeing. You're seeing the electrical current crossing over what I call the domed ceiling.
So the dome then would end
as it reaches the wider
like the the Antarctic like around us, right? So like in the sky. But you're saying that we could be encapsulated in this kind of a dome.
You know, a lot of people say if you put a dome over us, that just makes us another prison dome rather than a prison planet.
Yeah.
I personally believe that the plane goes on farther, that there's other realms, other worlds, just a few thousand miles away, and whether they're not allowed to come here, they don't know about us. That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that. Maybe some of them are here, maybe lots of them have come here and settled. A lot of people say that, certain races of people are aliens. Well, I think they're extraterrestrials, not aliens. Right. Extraterrestrials come from the outer land. There's a video on my channel, DITRH, called The Outward Flow of Civilization. And it talks about how Ice Ages work and how our sun is born in the north and it expands its ring over time and it pushes the ice out farther, and then when it gets far enough out, the northern hemisphere, the inner part, freezes again and a new sun comes out with the outer sun, so it's a ringed system. This is just a theory, but there is some evidence pointing to its possibility. And it's called The Outward Flow of Civilizations on the DITRH YouTube channel.
Definitely check it out. Dave, on our first podcast, see, I think you flat earthers are getting close to my own personal theory. I think everything will go infinitely large and it can go infinitely small inwards. So I like to think it as the toilet roll tube Earth, where if you think as we're standing in the middle of a toilet roll, and it goes infinitely large, infinitely small, infinitely left and right. I'm not smart enough to...
so the tube goes one way really small, one way really big?
Yeah, so now from here we can go up to space, and it gets larger and larger and larger, and we can't fathom how large it gets.
Right.
To the point where at a certain thing looking back at us, we're microscopic. And then, you can take a microscope and look smaller, 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 and it just keeps going, and we can't fathom how small things get and how large things get.
Huge respect to anybody.
That's fun to think about. Let me ask you another question.
Yep,
the International Space Station, which I call the International Fake Station, pretty technological accomplishment for mankind. Wouldn't you agree?
I'd say so.
You want to speak to me? Speak to me in private.
So when they built it modularly, I'm not exactly sure how they built it. The guys at Mission Control would be orchestrating most of this. Wouldn't you agree?
You should have the links as been
supplied. Well, yeah, they would be the mission. Yeah.
Yeah. So you got your astronaut construction workers up there in their clunky spacesuits that don't blow up like the Michelin Man in the vacuum of space because they're magical. But skipping all of that, how many cameras do you think they would have beaming information back during the assembly of this thing so Mission Control could make sure everything was screwed and bolted airtight? How many would you think?
I don't think there's any, really.
Once you're up there, I don't think it's up to you. Mission Control can't really do shit for you unless you have a problem.
How many cameras are monitoring what is going on during this, or are these guys working on their own with no cameras videoing them?
Well, there is. We saw. I got to trust my boy Chris Hadfield because he was up there with cameras and videos. He's a good Canadian lad.
When you drive in your
Chris
car,
Hadfield is a traitor to humanity, and he's never been in space. Let me tell you how many pictures and videos there are of the space station being built. Zero. There's none. It just appeared in space.
You can look
at pictures of the
Canadarm, I think it's called.
You have nothing except CGI. You go to my DITRH YouTube page. Go to my playlist and the NASA fakery. As a matter of fact, I got a better website for you. There's an amazing website called Stop, Look, Think. And it has NASA hoax pages and flat Earth pages up the wazoo.
And there's
tons of videos there. And all you have to do is take the time to look at them and see. We found a NASA archive, which was unpassword protected. It's still available now because they just don't care. That has thousands and thousands of directories and subdirectories of images of Earth. And what they are computer-generated cloud images laid over the blue marble painting, and then with instructions on how to put it into Photoshop and turn it into a sphere.
Okay, like
all images of space are fake.
I'm on board. I'm on board with phase. I'm on board with NASA's they doctor stuff. Like I think like I'm more on the UFO doctors about UFOs and maybe aliens on the backside of the moon. But there's one thing I gotta ask you.
We're getting
You
feedback
heard of Skylab, the precursor to the ISS, right?
Skylab, and you're going to talk about the guys that were running around in that circle. Go watch 2001: A Space Odyssey. They did a better job. It's all nonsense. If you look at it, a lot of that stuff was filmed on a zero-G plane. The rest was done with wires.
No, but like, Skylab crashed.
Like Mike's not
going to show.
So
I was alive then, and it crash landed, which is nothing. I mean, did they fight? They could have just dropped that out of a high altitude
That's what
plane.
I mean. Like, so like for this conspiracy to be like that big, for Skylab to drop down just outside of a little town like south of Perth, I think in Australia.
Did you see it?
Of course I didn't see it. I think it was like 1979, 10 years before I was born. But
yeah, well, I was alive then. I think
it's a well documented thing.
It's not a well documented thing. 9/11 was a well documented thing, and it's nonsense. All of it's nonsense, man.
It was leading people, so that the lead
my thing is, I just go back to just, if this is all a lie, like the amount of people that would have to be bought off and killed, and part of it is just
it's not that many people. First, they're probably lying to us about the population of the Earth. I mean, there might only be 1 billion people on Earth. We don't know the answer.
I'll agree with that. I'm not counting everyone.
Two independent objects traveling at 17,500 miles per hour.
There's a
I've just got to laugh
small
every
group of
time I
people
see
that
that.
know. The elite know, and basically the ones that know, they look down at people that are this stupid not to see through it. Because here's the thing, it's called the law of free will, or at least that's what I call it. The karmic law of free will is what I call it. And they have to tell us what they're doing. Otherwise, they're just they have to do that. It's a universal law, for lack of a better word. And they tell us, and if we don't say no or don't call bullshit, that's on us. And so they tell us everything they're doing. All these other conspiracies, they tell us, they show us that they're faking it, and people are just too lazy to give a shit.
We have talked about that on our show with other things where they're just, it's almost them just kind of
I will come and visit
flaunting
you one day
what they're doing. Like they don't like
they got to give it to you. They got to let you know just enough. Like they like all the precursors for 9/11, all this. They put it out there just so you know, so they can clear their conscience, whatever fucking conscience they have, and then it happens. Like I'm on board with that for sure. But on something like this, okay, I'm gonna go here for a second.
Oh yeah, you do about flying.
What are we doing right now?
Yeah, I'm a microlight pilot.
We're talking into microphones. Our voice goes into our microphone, gets transcribed, fucking digitally sent through the internet, recorded onto your computer. You can video call someone across the world. The whole world's interconnected. All this technology that's been built is because of human ingenuity. Like we're fucking smart. We're really fucking smart. And for all,
I'm sorry, my bad. But if you watch them,
all this technology in the world,
very low over the sea,
you got planes, you got GPS, you got all this like fucking millions and millions and millions of highly educated people working on this stuff every day.
Hundreds of miles.
We're fucking smart. If these elite, very small group of elite would have to come up with all our technology, all our space, all our telescopes, and there's no fucking way a bunch of fucking greedy ass motherfucking bankers can come up with all this technology. Just give us just the truth and be like, oh, they'll never figure it out.
They just have to fund it.
Let me answer all of that. One, it's not the bankers. It's money is just a belief system. Money is a way to control it. They don't need money. They have us. We're slaves. We're doing everything for them. All they want to do is take our money. Money is sigil magic. We put all of our energy into this money. Our energy, that's what they want, and they control us with it. They hang these little paper notes in front of us, and we dance for them, and we do whatever they want for them.
And do I fucking dance?
Yeah,
no, we're on board. We're on board with money as like as a control factor, and the elites do rule through controlling the banks and the IMF and like the whole world system. Like that's not debated for sure. But I'm saying like those people who control the money don't control astrophysics. They don't know all a million different fields of technology. That's private people that fucking they fucking come up with that. People are smart.
So you're this is where you're mistaken. All the big corporations, they're all controlled by the elite. There's only a few families that own, the massive high percentage of all of the big corporations that are all involved in this. Satellite technology. There are no satellites. It's all done with cell towers.
You can see the reflections of all the trees in the lake.
You don't know where the computer chip came from. It could have come, we don't know where it come from. It didn't come from an alien crash. It's other technology, and they're giving this stuff to us. They're giving us an opportunity.
Who's giving us technology? Who gave us internet? Who gave us all this technology? It's not just a group of elite. Yeah, but I know in conspiracy, like the elite and they is like the all-powerful term. That's where this comes into play for me. Is all this technology, all this audio gear I have on my fucking thing, my guitar, my truck. It was all done by people. Most of it done by people tinkering in the garage, and they come up with an idea. And eventually, yes, it does get built, bought up by all. It all gets built by the big corporations in the end. And at the end, yes, they control the technology in the end. But the initial technology is done by normal people who are fucking smart.
Some of it is, but the computer chip didn't come from a normal guy in his garage. This stuff was given to us. Our language is given to us as a weapon. Our words are weapons. We don't realize the power of our words and our thoughts. They teach us that our words and our thoughts have no power, but that is the opposite of the truth. And we use them against ourselves. We beat ourselves up. We watch the news, which basically just depowers us, and we say things that steal our own energy from us. The elite don't use words. They use sigils and what we would call magic. To communicate with each other. They have their signs and symbols rule the world, and we're blind.
Let me upload it, and then I changed the name after. So it's currently uploading to YouTube at this very moment.
We're starting to run out of time here, so let's. You want to give us one more thing? What do you think everyone should know about the flat Earth cause?
So it's quite amazing. I'm talking.
So it's not a flat Earth cause. It's not a belief. It's not even a belief. People believe they live on a spinning ball. And people that research know that we do not live on a spinning ball. What I say is, if you're sick of the flat Earth nonsense, turn off the TV for 2 weeks. Turn off the radio and start digging into the flat Earth. Go to the website stoplookthink.com. I also put a link in the chat here. I don't know if you can share it with the podcast. It's the ODD 24/7 Flat Earth feed, where he runs some of the best flat Earth videos 24/7, and there's a live chat there, and you can go ask a question. But I have to warn you, don't go in there and say, "Oh, you guys are retarded or bullshit," because you'll be banned instantly.
No, we're not about that.
I'm telling your listeners because it is an emotional thing. Nobody likes having their ball taken away, and they get upset. So go in there, watch a couple videos, and say, "Hey, I'm new here. DITRH sent me. I have a question. Can somebody direct me to a video?" And one of the mods will pop in the video that you need. Just ask a question. But the thing is, it's going to take you a week or so of digging in. And let me tell you something. When you do, everything changes, because then you can start seeing through the other nonsense like nuclear bombs. Complete and total fake. There are no nuclear bombs. Okay, nuclear power is just boiling water with chemicals that get hot in the air. Whether it's plutonium or not, I'm not 100% sure, but it's not nuclear fission. It's just boiling water with chemicals that get hot when they're exposed to air, like potassium.
It's done in water, though. Tanks of water.
Yeah, well, they keep them in water so it doesn't,
I'm just kidding. Like, that's a whole nother thing. Like, whatever.
Yeah, that's a whole nother thing, but there are no nuclear bombs.
Am I talking too much? You're not talking
Dinosaurs never existed.
I'm just listening, man.
Okay,
nobody has
I'll say no one's walked on the moon. I'll agree with that. But dinosaurs. Let's go back to dinosaurs.
Yeah, fucking dinosaurs.
Okay, I'll just tell you a quick story here. There's a place up north called Tumbler Ridge, and you can walk. And in the bush, in the woods, in the middle of fucking nowhere, in the middle of nowhere, these kids were walking along the river, and on the riverbed, in some hard rock, there's dinosaurs playing, and they just found. That was 2 years ago, and they started excavating the area in the middle of nowhere, and they found the first dinosaur skull.
I know all about it. With one, they didn't find a dinosaur skull. They're lying. There are no dinosaur skulls. None has ever been found. They'll find one tooth and some crushed up bones. They'll give it to an archaeologist whose job requires, and they say, hey, figure out what dinosaur this was, and they make up a dinosaur. Let me ask you a question. How did a stegosaurus have sex? Take your time, look at a fucking stegosaurus, and you'll realize it's complete and utter nonsense.
Well, here's the thing. I can agree with you on that, but I think the whole paleontology and all that stuff, it's doing exactly what we're doing. It's theorizing on what it could be. 10 years ago, or 20 years ago, when Jurassic Park came out, they were reptiles with no feathers, and now it's pretty much been decided that they would have had feathers. So I think it's evolving. It's one of those things evolving. They're trying their best to theorize on what they could possibly have looked like.
Go ahead, Dave. Go for it.
So dinosaurs were theorized by a Freemason, and then a year or two later, they started discovering dinosaurs. Before that, with all of the stuff that's ever happened, nobody's ever bumped into a dinosaur bone. And the only dinosaurs that are ever discovered are by these Freemason archaeologists, paleontologists, whatever, are finding them, the ones that are vested in it. Every museum that has dinosaurs that you've all seen, ask the curator of the museum, are those the real bones? And they'll tell you, no, they're not. The real bones are locked up, and most, real people that are studying paleontology, they're not even allowed to see them. On the webpage stoplookthink.com, there's a tab called Dinosaurs under hoaxes, I believe. And there's some videos there. Take your time, watch the videos, and you too will know that dinosaurs never exist.
No, it's another case file for us because we've been asked to talk about it, and I've never really looked into it. So yeah, we'll definitely.
You know what? When I first heard it, I said bullshit. I was right like you guys, no problem. I was like, come on, don't take my fucking dinosaurs away too. You already took my planets away, and that's not fun. And now Star Wars is dead. It's all nonsense. It's all programming.
Okay, one more question about space, just because I just came across this not that long ago.
Then we're talking
the Japanese Himawari 8 weather satellite that takes photos from 22,000 miles out.
Every 10 minutes.
Thoughts?
That's we found the archive on that. There's a YouTube channel called Archer Sage, ARCHER space SAGE.
If you're in Norway,
he walks you through these files and shows you 100% that they fake, that they're all fakes. They're composite overlays put into Photoshop and turned into a ball. They're complete and total nonsense. He also had software.
How do you take so much credence in that guy? What's his story?
Well, it doesn't matter. We actually showed him. We found this archive. Jeranism actually found it, and there's too many photos to go in. So he did a video and asked people to go through it. And this guy went through it. He's good with going through photo files and being able to analyze them. There's a program that's a photo forensic program that can take any photo and analyze its compression and tell you what camera it was taken from. Right, and they took the photo. Those aren't even photos; these are literally illustrations that they're called from. That they're saying are from the satellite. But they took the Mars rover photos, and they're done from the Sony Coolpix 2 megapixel camera. It's the pocket camera.
Okay. 100%. It's faked. We'll look into the video. We can spend a lot of time on it. We got a couple more questions though. Brady,
I'm going to ask him his top 5 after. We got some fans who are shooting us some questions.
Yeah, just a couple questions from fans.
How are fans listening to this?
No, we just have there's questions on Facebook. Nothing's live at the moment. Okay, what do we got here?
So what I'm saying basically,
plate tectonics and volcanoes.
Who sent that question?
Annie Marie.
I
have a simple
was that Annie from Orlando?
To determine if the Earth is spinning.
Plate tectonics on a flat Earth can work the same way, and the volcanoes can work the same way on a ball Earth. We don't know what's under. We're told on a ball Earth that they show us the cross section of the Earth, but no one's ever gone farther than 8 miles. They say that the center is liquid, metal, and there's no liquid metal that we can that has magnetics. As soon as it becomes liquid, it loses its magnetics. So none of that can be reproduced in the lab.
The solid core is actually nickel, isn't it? Solid nickel core.
But
that's what
we don't know. We don't know. So on a flat Earth, to me, plate tectonics, make sense too. Was there ever a Pangea? I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay, just on that same question, is there there must be in a big community, there must be certain people who's like, okay, I'm going to tackle plate tectonics and volcanoes on a flat Earth, how would that work? Is there like a guy that does that?
We can get
like, did you have like a big group of people who has like a job they're trying to research, or is it like all it's like a blanket research?
There's people that have different fortes. The plate tectonics one, I know people have touched on it, but the answer is we're all speculating. It would be the same. There's three categories things will fall into: works on a ball, works on a flat Earth, or works on ball, or it doesn't work on ball. It doesn't exist. Those are the only three categories it falls in. Nothing falls into the works on a ball only. Nothing. You'll find that out as you go. You'll see nothing falls into that basket.
Everyone has to use the same settings.
We got another one from Tris Monroe.
Otherwise, it doesn't.
He's talking about the kid just have to send up weather balloons with the GoPro and GPS track and go pick up the footage.
I've never been on your show.
Shows a curve. Is that just the lens of the GoPro?
That's what it's
the GoPro shows a curve when it's on the ground. It shows a curve. We sent up a balloon. A flat earther by the name of Rob Skiba sent up a balloon with a pro camera, non-GoPro, specced out the lenses and everything, showed how it doesn't show curve no matter how you twist it or turn it. Went up to 81,000 feet flat as can be. That's 10,000 feet higher than Adam from Mythbusters, who was up in a MiG and said he saw the curves. Even though the GoPro was showing all sorts of curves, and then he said he saw the curve, but we're up at 81,000 feet, no curve.
They will continue to flow.
Now, my question with that is, so even with that GoPro, you're going up there, and some of the ones you'll see the Earth and it's definitely a curve. I'll give you the curve of the
I can get my hose
the GoPro, but you see the darkness of space on the edge of the Earth.
And I can put water onto a leaf.
Is that just because you can't see the light? Is that because you're saying the light? That's just not where light's hitting.
Solid.
So the light doesn't travel forever. The light fluoresces the sun. The electric sun fluoresces the nitrogen in the sky. Nitrogen fluoresces blue. So when the electric sun goes up in the sky like a big Tesla coil, it fluoresces the sky. So if the sun rises in the morning and you're on one side of your house and you go to the back side of your house, you can still read the newspaper out there when the sun is just rising, but it's blocked by your entire house. And that's because the daylight is coming from the electric sky. The sunlight is on the other side of the house.
And if we don't have the numbers in our heads
more question.
now, Concorde used to fly
during at nighttime. Why can't I send up a camera, say a 360 camera, up, I don't know, 30 miles and see the sun?
Probably 5 hours.
You can sometimes, but the sun, again, you have to go super high. It depends on where you are, what time of year. But there was a flight from California to Germany where they were taking the polar route, didn't go over the pole, and the sun was it was going away from the plane, and it went around. It never set, and it came back around as they went over the polar route because he stayed within the distance to be able to see the sun.
Okay, but I was just saying, like any night, any night you can do it, and that's an experiment anyone can check.
So a lot of ball earthers say if it's a ball in Dubai, you watch the sunset and then quickly go up to the top of that tall building, and you can watch the sunset again. Well, that just proves that's the same on the flat Earth, and it's the same what you're saying. The sun could set, and then if you get up and go higher up, you'll see the sun again. That's absolutely true.
Yeah, but middle of the night, you should be able to see the sun.
No, that's not true because it gets eclipsed by many things. Again, on my channel, DITRH, there's a sun setting playlist. Watch those videos and you'll see how you can't see the sun after a certain distance.
Below 500.
Okay, I'm sure we could we brush. That's the basics, right? That's the base. I'm sure.
Here's the thing: you shouldn't believe anything I'm telling you, and even if you do, you have to check it out, and it takes time. This is to understand the world that we live in. You can't do it in 140 characters like Twitter. The Twitter mind, I call it. And after 140 characters, most people are fluoridated, GMO'd, and vaccinated into stupidity. But once you
vaccinated?
I had a lot less vaccinations than you guys, and if I had a kid today, he wouldn't get a single vaccination. I have friends that have kids that have no vaccinations. They're the smartest, healthiest kids I've ever seen.
It was part of the same video.
I never really did so much. But
vaccines are the only purpose for vaccines, including polio, is to make you sick. That is the only purpose.
I was going to say to make a lot of money.
Yeah, well, if they keep you sick, the Rockefellers make a lot of money on their chemical-based health system.
That's why I stopped uploading videos 2 years ago.
Before we end here, I just wanted, other than Flat Earth
Round Earth, so with the editing,
can
you have to upload it.
Give me what are your
from
top
the memory
favorite
stick to the
conspiracies?
Computer.
What are the ones you like to get into with
the editing program?
Let me ask you guys a question, and I'll tell you right or wrong. You can figure it out from there. How many people died at the Boston Marathon?
I've got loads and loads.
I'm actually not familiar with the conspiracy, to be honest, at all.
I know the marathon bombing.
I know the bombing, but I've never really looked.
It's been on our list. It's been on our list for a while. We haven't dived into it. I know.
How many people do you think died?
Dozen?
15.
I have no idea.
How many people got hurt?
It's taken me 2 years to do that.
The answer is 0.
It's because I've got so much.
No one got hurt.
When I go flying each weekend,
total hoax.
How about
let's
false flag? Complete. Well, not even a false flag, just complete hoax.
17 minutes of video
hoax and a false flag. How many buildings fell in New York on 9/11?
3.
So it's ridiculous.
Well, I think they ended up demolishing the whole complex, I think, in the end.
7 buildings fell. Look at, there's a video on my channel called Forget Building 7, Building 6, The Smoking Gun. Building 6, the entire center of the building disappeared, leaving the outer wall standing. Disappeared. There was nothing in the building.
Is that something to do with the directed energy?
It very well could be, and I'm not making that conclusion, but what I'm saying is what they told us happened on 9/11. Total nonsense.
9/11, yeah, is like
when I go flying.
Definitely.
How about Orlando Pulse nightclub shooting?
I definitely got into that one a little bit for the weird crisis actor videos that I've seen that look just so bogus.
Total hoax. There's on that Stop Look Think channel page. There's tons of videos there. The recent Nice truck attack, fake. One of my favorites is one called the Cassidy Stay family murder. This teenage girl, her 4 brothers and sisters, mother and father were murdered right in front of her, and 2 days later she's in a parade getting her nails done, quoting Harry Potter, laughing.
Maybe that was her way to deal with the shock. But anyway, so they're not even like from memory. I agree that I always thought that they're false flags, but complete hoax. Like it's tough for me because
and that's what's made me
people
look at this flat Earth.
It looks like people got hurt.
I had a friend on
it looks like
Facebook. I don't do Facebook anymore.
So what's okay? We'll look into
so that's 3
years back.
2 more.
I used to watch his
NASA is nothing more than a Hollywood studio and a shitty one at that.
I love that.
Check out the NASA Lies page on stoplookthink.com.
What do you think? Do you think Stanley Kubrick had hints in his movies that he was working for them?
On my pictures,
he might have helped them. That's just a small part of it.
The Isle of Wight, whatever.
Dinosaurs is another one. No nuclear bombs. They never existed. If you look at the nuclear bomb picture, that video they show us all, with this little house that just shatters and the trees bend back. Watch it again. It's a miniature. It's a model set. It's a tiny little model set.
So what happened is, do you think Hiroshima and
most ball
what happened there? You
don't have a
so Hiroshima and Nagasaki were just giant TNT bombs. 3 days later, the train was running and electricity was back on, and people never moved out. They're still there, and we have a higher cancer rate than they do. Okay, it was there, and all of the buildings that had fireproofing didn't collapse. How does that work with a nuclear bomb?
You know what? I never even thought to think of that one.
I was always curious of the radiation aspect.
I could definitely get on that. It was all propaganda, especially to. I would have thought at the time to try to outflex the Russians leading into the Cold War. But
probably 3 years now.
Now it's just I've
learned a lot about it.
You could say on your end, it's just to increase the fear.
It's keep everyone in fear. The nuclear bomb, the war,
it's going to end everything.
It's complete and total nonsense. It's not real. There are no nukes, and there's a no nuke page on that website also.
And then somebody kept bringing me
back. We'll have to check that. That
for me is part of the tactics
the Times Square car crash recently, Ariana Grande concert bombing hoax, Sandy hoax.
It really is.
I was going to say Sandy Hook's been popping up in the news again with Alex Jones.
Yeah, I don't actually look at
Alex Jones controlled opposition to keep people halfway to the truth and still believing the nonsense.
Alex Jones also testified that he lies in the show just for listening.
I can't listen to Alex Jones. It's insane.
Funny things.
He's
and he talks about flat Earth,
complete,
and he's very religious.
Fool, and Joe Rogan admitted that he would sell out, and he sold out. Check out my DITRH channel. One of the recent videos is Joe Rogan sells out. Probably 5 or 10 videos back. Check it out. All the videos on my channel, by the way, are under 5 minutes. So for the short attention span,
our fans are gonna eat those up.
DITRH stands for Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole YouTube page. Watch those videos. Go back and take your time. Watch the last 20, 30, 40 videos, and I guarantee your life will change. And you'll, once you take the red pill, your steak and mansion is gone.
Dave, again, thanks. You got anything else to plug? You got Twitter, Facebook?
So in November, there's the Flat Earth International Conference in North Carolina.
The deal is and what we're
my YouTube channel is the best place to see the videos I make. And there's a lot going on. We put up a Flat Earth billboard outside of the Philly airport. It made the news. It's going all over the place. 60-foot billboard that said research Flat Earth. And
how you doing, okay?
It's making some waves, and we got a whole bunch of other billboards going up.
Seen all the nonsense.
Flat Earth, when you realize the importance of it, it really shows you that all of this other stuff, which is important. Oh, the other thing is chemtrails, geoengineering. I heard you guys make a comment on that. That's a weird one.
It's difficult to talk about.
They're spraying our skies. There's no doubt.
Oh, 100%. I've heard the videos. I've seen the patents.
The message I guess
not every plane in the sky is a chemtrail.
Not every, but now David Keith and his geoengineers at Harvard University have announced that they're doing it starting in the spring of 2017. Well, guess what? We're past that. They're out there, and the chemtrailing in the last couple of weeks has been worse than I've ever seen it. And people have just got their phones, their noses stuck in their scrying mirrors, and have no idea what they're doing. They don't see anything.
Yeah, there's definitely a good case file there for sure.
I don't really want to go too deeply.
Dave, again, I just got to thank you for coming on. You're probably our most well-spoken guest we've ever had on, and it's been great listening to you theorize with us here and
it's a lot of listeners. I appreciate it, guys. It's good talking to you guys.
Dave, we put you through the ringer a little bit, which was good, and we love the way you handled the questions, right? I got a little mad there a little bit, but that's expected, right?
And nobody likes having their ball taken away.
I still got my ball, but
it's easy to pull somebody. It's harder to convince them they've been fooled.
I'll scratch what I'm saying.
But what I'm saying is take your time, go through the videos. ODD 24/7 Flat Earth Live will blow you away, and it'll lead you down all the other channels, all the other suggested links. The mods in there will help you if you ask a question. And all you have to do is take the time to look, and then you will see.
The queen bee is. I mean, let's just
stop drinking fluoridated water. Get a distiller and drink.
Good news for us in BC. We don't fluoridate water since the last 30 years here, I think now. But
works their nuts off. There's no sitting about.
So yeah, that's we're gonna have to wrap it up now.
Issue.
So as we
everyone's got
Dave,
to pull together and work together.
Awesome guest, probably the best guest we've ever had on.
Much better than the last.
Yeah, you definitely represented the flat Earth very well here. I think.
Sort of
anyone
mentally and spiritually and understood
start looking at videos. Other than that, look out for another case file coming in a couple weeks. And as always, keep those eyes on the skies.
Whereas you've got so many different demographics of personalities. So I'll tell you, when you become a flat earther, you're very much a new person. So you come into this huge sort of circus tent. If you were, for instance, a flat earther and you're on your own, or you don't have many other people that you can communicate effectively with, it's a bit of a circus. And so you bombard, you've instantly gone into this room, you've got all these chat rooms, you've got these groups, you've got so many different things going on around you. And during that time, you're already dealing with the fact that you've been lied to that your whole time. So your head's already like mashed potato before you've even started. So the more you learn, you do develop, but no one at all, unless you're kind of close with people, take you under their wing and try and nurture you and try and understand you and develop you. into someone that can be proactive both independently and collectively.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to instill a message that people perhaps, and I'm certain people who are watching this, you know who I am, and you know that I'm quite proactive on Facebook and I point a lot of fingers. I'd like to see people perhaps being a bit more proactive, most definitely being a bit more human, because being on the globe, you're a totally different entity. You know, you've been subjected to so much manipulation, and it's ingrained in you. You look at role models, celebrities, they're all used for specific purposes. Now, on Flat Earth, they're completely pointless. Everything, all of that is completely irrelevant. And I think people, they have to grow as an individual to see that. Now, I can give an example of that. Not too long ago, I had a conversation with my missus, and I said, oh, that's Steve McQueen. You know, he's the dog's nuts. You know, everybody likes him. He's really cool. And, you know, and you could pick various characters, you know, whether they're singers or actors or whoever. And she was completely the polar opposite. And she's going, what? They're all fake. What are you on about? Why would you idolize someone like that? I said, what? Don't you get it? They're really cool and they're this and that. And then it was only just today, it suddenly dawned on me that I'd had this conversation, but it's only through what I've learned now, you kind of realize it's like a drip feed. Suddenly you go, oh yeah, that makes sense. Now I understand why it's so fake and da-da-da-da-da. But yet a lot of flat earthers, depending on their journey, maybe they don't get it, maybe they do. I see it that they come into this party tent and they, in their mind, it's just, oh, well, it's not round, it's flat. Right, now, you know, business as usual. Let's all crack on. Let's all spend our money. There's no problem with money. Let's all make money. When you're on the flat earth, it's the complete polar opposite. And I'm shocked at the level that people, you know, you'll be fighting with people and literally arguing online. You'll be going, do you not understand that, you know, you can't monetize specific things because you can't on one hand be mocking the banks and saying, oh, they're terrible people and you're a slave to the system and all the rest of it. And on the other hand, you're going, you know what, let's try and sell some T-shirts or let's try and do this. Yeah. And I can understand some part of it, but on the other hand, I think you've got to, for everybody, for all flat earthers, and everybody's got to take part in this like a little bee in their own right. They've got to start thinking independently from a same song sheet for the greater good. Yeah. Now, looking at these sort of celebrities, our role models, I think what would be ideal is if, for instance, I use Facebook quite a bit, other people use other social media sites. What we need is a framework of groups that we use as resource centres. So let's just say, for the sake of argument, we come to your channel, Del, and we think, okay, he's letting people have a voice about how they feel or where the direction that they personally feel that we think we should be going in, because we set the rules now. We're the guys in charge of our destiny, Del. You know, you've got just as much a voice as I have. Everybody has a voice in this, and it's up to everybody to vocalise themselves where they think this is going. So I think the groups should be set up as resource centres to promote progressive activism. And I'm not just saying, oh, look, we'll go to this site and that's where we buy stickers. I mean, hey, I'm not knocking that. We can do that. But they should be resource centres rather than little mini science project. I mean, hey, you could have a group that's just purely dedicated to that. But I don't see any of these places. There's not a single group, but hey, maybe I'm being very bad and I should sort of just, you know, instead of telling everybody else to do it, I should set it up myself. But perhaps it's about getting that word out. Let's all come together and work for the greater good. And instead of expecting somebody else to do it, put just as much hard effort into it, because I tell you, it's very hard being a flat earther, and you have to be a dedicated person. It's not a part-time thing where you think, fuck it, I'll let Del get on with it. Perhaps by next Sunday, Theresa May won't be in power anymore and it'll all be happy days. You know, it doesn't work like that, Del. You know that. Yeah. And so I'd like to see more groups where it's set up so it's a resource centre, as I say, so you'd be able to see, you know, here's a list of emails where people have been bombarding a media group with certain flat earth stuff. Or
well, Mikey, that's the thing, mate. You said it yourself. You just set that stall out and be it and walk that walk.
Yeah,
it's the same for everybody else. It's the same for me. I can only walk my walk, and if I've got something to offer people, then people are there. They can take whatever they want from it. You know, and that's exactly what you're saying. So, you know, I don't focus on, you know, they should do this and blah blah. And it's the same for yourself, man. You know, walk that walk. You set that up. You put that in motion the way you see it, and you pound it out there. It's useful for people. Then they'll come to it. You know, it's as simple as that, mate.
Yeah. You know, but I suppose it's still good that if we can instill those kind of not I don't mean policies even. That's the wrong word. Try and help me out on this, Del. That if we could...
I know what you're saying, mate, but it's like trying to convince or push that to people. They have to be ready and looking for it. The only thing you can offer is a stall there with a product that people are going to be looking for when they come to that state of mind or whatever. You know, I can't go out and instill it in people. I can only be me and walk my walk. And if I've got a product to offer somebody, or I've got something there that's valuable to somebody, they'll come to it. Only they arrive there, and that's what they're looking for. And the way that it comes across is through repetition. For me, I just keep repeating. Keep pushing the same message out there. Eventually, people understand what you're saying. It just takes a wee bit of time. And it can get frustrating when you've got something to offer people and they're just not getting it. But the only thing I can say to you, man, is just keep it up and walk that walk.
You understand then that mindset. When people might perceive me as some bastard who's out there to kind of like pistol shoot everybody out that's out there trying to do their bit. But I see a greater picture than maybe a lot of people see with regards to how people position themselves, because it looks very much apparent that some things are controlled or not controlled. Everyone's got their own stall set out, as you quite rightly say. But I'm not shooting everybody, so I'm obviously not. I'm not attacking everybody, so I'm not brushing everybody with the same brush.
Again, you're entitled to that anyway, mate. Regardless of what anybody has to say, you just say that you're entitled to stand on your own 2 feet and express yourself whatever way you see fit. And if that resonates with people who see the same or whatever, then they'll come to that, mate.
No, you're right. And it's just frustrating when you think, God, I just wish everybody could get to this collective mind state. And it's frustrating, if you could communicate that message out to more people that have perhaps more credibility than myself, because I don't have a large stage. But if you had that mic for 1 minute, the amazing work that you could do. Like if you vocalized what I vocalized, and I'm not saying that you don't, because you do, but you offer the platform for like myself to rock up and go, look, this is my 5 penneth. I'm going to chuck my hat in the ring. And for me, that ticks that box. So you're just a conduit for me to do my thing. I'm definitely going to perhaps take that away with what you've said, and perhaps start a group up where they know they can come, and then they can see like, if I can invite people to perhaps just use it as some kind of springboard towards some kind of activism, but then roll it out to perhaps other groups. It's about just passing on the baton, and it's not about just running about telling everybody the earth's flat. It's fucking pointless, because unless you're giving someone an objective reality after that, people don't realise that there's more to it than just the shape of it, and that you've been lied to.
Well, that's part of my journey. There's loads of aspects to it. For me, the main thing being how the mind works and how the manipulation has worked and what we're susceptible to. These things are hugely important. For me, if we can focus on these things, it will eradicate any manipulation and possible tyranny or any other lies that's coming our way.
Definitely.
We need the tools of discernment, but again, it's for me, I can only keep repeating it and keep putting it out there. There's people who I've spoken to that don't understand what I'm saying. I keep saying it, and then a few months later, a couple of weeks later, whatever it might be, the penny drops. Then they've arrived at that, and then they stand with that message. So that's the best thing I could say.
It's a waiting game and waiting for the numbers to sort of catch up. But the more people that come to this sort of state of mind of where we are, but try and instill this and preach it, and I'm going to use that, I don't like that word, but shout it out loudly, the more perhaps acceptable it will become, and perhaps more mainstream. That it's not, what's he on about? I don't understand. What do you mean? What's wrong with role models or celebrities? And I think it's everyone's individual journey. But I think if you put your stall out, it's blatantly obvious for people to see it and perhaps not knock it. I want an end to this just as much as anybody else. And it's not about infighting. It's about, I suppose, just trying to convey that message of everybody being, if everybody worked as a whole, they could see players for what they are, or they would noticeably see manipulations going on around them. And it is a state of mind when you get there. It just suddenly the penny just drops, and you think, I can see this. I understand what he means now. Like Dan Pratt, and I hope you're listening, Dan, because I watch your videos when he goes into his little garage and has a little rant. And it is that mindset. Once you see it all from a mile away, and you think, everyone's really missing out on this golden opportunity to further it and get this ball rolling. But if we can you just keep doing what you do, Dale, and I'll just keep doing what I'm doing, and happy days, and let's not rush it along. Perhaps it will just be an organic.
Well, this is it for me, Mikey. It's got its own legs now, and it's snowballing regardless of what anybody does now. So that's the best thing you can do, mate, is set your stall out and walk that walk.
Yeah, I'm going to start doing that. Perhaps attracting other people from groups and saying, look, because at least if we set that bar, other people might follow or set up similar type groups where if we can set out a template, people know that you can roll it out. And it's about, the thing is about that individual leadership. You're empowering yourself. You don't have to be reliant on other people and hope that other people will find this pot of gold for you. Because ultimately we want a world where we all develop together, but independently, without any form of, and I'm going to say it loosely because I don't want to sound like I'm some communist nutter, but without a form of any specific government. I love the idea of anarchy, that everybody gets on, but everybody has to work within that anarchy. Everybody has to play their role there.
Still need organisation in certain aspects of our lives, mate. But for me, it's if people are empowered, when you set up these organisations for parts of our lives that need that type of structure in it, if people are empowered with critical thought, then it gives people the ability to not allow corruption within the factions in life. Anarchy is fine, but we still, for me, there is still, if again we're going back to concepts that this is where we are, this is where we're stuck, this is life, this is one world, this is it. We're entering into the realms of assuming that that's the case, when for me that's not there yet. But if it was the case, hypothetically, that this is it, this is where we're meant to be, this is all there is, you instill that kind of critical thought. Again, I revert back to what was involved in the education system before in regards to things like the trivium, and it's a methodology for people to think and communicate with each other, assess language, assess arguments, assess anything that anybody's putting to you in order to strip it apart, coupled with things like the Socratic method. And with that kind of structure in play, when you set up these things like whether it be a council or some kind of governing body in order to make things happen, keep the structure of society going, whatever it is you're setting out, you can have trust in that because you know that the people are then empowered. Whereas the state of mind that people are in now is based on emotional impulse, based on confusion and bewilderment. People are not thinking rationally and taking responsibility, so they're just caught in a habit and a pattern that they were born into. They just think that's the way it is, blah, 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 blah. When really you can change that so that these parties never have the opportunity to be corrupt. They start spinning lies and bullshit, They function as what they were supposed to be. Like, you can see the way they tried to set it out, from the off, with the kind of structure we have with councils and police and courts, and it's fair enough in principle, but the corruption that's went on within it has to be eradicated. So,
and it is. I love the way the mind. When you get to a certain mindset, it's a fantastic place to kick about. And what's it going to be like on the next level? That wouldn't have a value. However way it's controlled, I don't know, but you'd have a fixed price, so everything would be kind of when you go to the garage, everything's kind of worked out pre-done for how much it costs for fitting your clutch or whatever. You'd have fixed pricing for everything. It's an interesting topic to go down because I don't think there's enough dialogue to kind of think, well
for me, that's it for me. Again, it comes right back to understanding the position we're in, and for me these are ideas, and we're talking about society and structures based on an assumption that this is it, this is where we're meant to be, there's nothing else. And I can't even get down that route. I can conceptualise and play with better ways of life, the same as everybody else. I think it's pretty obvious to see a better way of life, but until I have that knowing of what the wider dimensions are, what the full dimensions are, then I can't even enter into that. I don't know what situation we're actually in right now. We're grasping at straws, mate, to be honest with you, until I establish the real magnitude of the situation that we're actually in. I can't even enter that. So that's for me. I
think I'm going to go down the lines of that group to at least start setting up some kind of system where it's more of a resource centre where people can come and go, get what they need, and then feed it out to other people, and then perpetuate whatever kind of narrative we all kind of feel is best done, because I don't think there's an activism kind of group online on Facebook, not that I've seen.
Mikey, this is the thing. I can understand the mind and I can see patterns and how the manipulations came about, but in regards to where we're going, and with this, nobody has a gauge on that or a pointer, a direction. And for me, it's just get on with it every day, keep pushing forward, hope the numbers increase, and buckle in and see what happens.
But I think we're putting new numbers in, but I think what collectively, if we can do, is take people under our wing and perhaps guide people. I mean, this platform is a good opportunity just for people to watch, because then they can see the dialogue we're having, and that also provokes thoughts for themselves. So I think this sort of platform where you can interact gives people the opportunity to at least see the mindset of other people, faceless people that you would ordinarily not see. So they know there's other gauges of communication going on that are a lot perhaps deeper, well, not deeper level, but just not about the shape, but just how we're getting on, how we're talking about, and perhaps how we want the group to kind of develop, and the direction and the communication that we want.
Again, Mikey, you just have to be that yourself, mate. Trying to, control everybody else. You're just turning into the very thing that you're standing against, man.
No, I mean, as in instill independent thought with people, that they do their own thing and not rely on others.
That's it.
Anyway, I've chucked my hat in the ring. That's about it, really. So, but thanks for that, Del. I appreciate it. And keep up the good work, dude. And I'll speak to you another time.
You make a nice one, but cheers for coming on.
Take care. Bye. Bye.
Cheers.
Just link out to Chaz, and apologies to peeps. I've got the mails, man. It's just, it's going to be like a while long before I get the rest of these links out to you. Kolshi Cats, I'm a little bit unclear though, dude. Do you say that you've got some information collated? Because I mean, we can put it up on the activism channel, and we can obviously link to it on any live that we've got here. Or if you're asking if we can do that, a little bit of help would be useful, dude. If you can get it collated, then I can run some video content to get it in front of you. So if you want to get back to me on that, mate.
Sorry, I missed that. Emma coming in there. We've got a message here. Hi, Dale. If anyone would like a lift en route to Paisley from Bridlington, East Yorkshire, to cut fuel costs for the meet-up next Saturday, please give my number out for anybody interested to ring or text me on 07999648890. Thanks, Tony. Cheers for that, Tony. Bit of a distance you're coming up to, but good on you. If anybody's interested, then Tony's gave his number there if you want to share the car, share the journey and cut the fuel costs. Excellent.
I missed that too, but people will be able to pick it up off the playback, won't they?
Yeah. How's it going, Dale? Can I ask live on air if anyone in Belfast believes in plain earth? I would like to meet up with people and discuss. Please don't give my number out, but if people from Belfast want to give their number out, I will contact them. Cheers, James. So there's people popping up everywhere who are looking to network and branch out and meet other people who are going through the same experience, so which is understandable. How you going, Dale? It's Stevie McVeigh for asking. How you doing, Stevie? Here I was watching a globe pusher trying to explain that the sunset and sunrise proves the globe, and found it frustrating to listen to, as I know this is never proof in a million years. I noticed the other day that the sun disappearing bottom first can be explained in a flat plane better by comparing it to clouds. From the view outside my front door, I noticed clouds about 3 miles away appear to get lower in the sky the further away they were, and the ones at the horizon disappeared bottom first into the horizon, the same way as the sun appears to. The clouds were not any lower in the sky than the ones above my head. It is just the further away they were, the lower they appeared. Well, it's into perspective. And again, what are the luminaries? What is the sun exactly? There's these missing parts. Helicopters and birds appear the same way too. As they fly across the sky, they appear to get lower the further they go. This must be perspective issue, and definitely not proof of curvature. Of course it's not. It does come into perspective. That's observed by everybody. You just go to an artist and ask them about stuff like that. And again, the sky doesn't give you any measurable proof of the shape of Earth you're standing upon. Imagine how it would really be if it was set below curvature. Fucking nonsense. Oh, P.S. Have you got your Motu sorted yet? No, I have not, man. But I see you putting up some videos of you playing and singing, so wouldn't mind a wee jam. Maybe write some stuff if you're up for that. Bit like Dale. Tim Osmond was the CIA name for Bin Laden. Yep, we know that. Obviously a fucking clown. Cheers. Get it up, you, Graham. Get it up, you, T. No measurable proof of water curving. All anyone needs is 2 miles miles of cable and a winch over a lake somewhere to make it a permanent construct from Kai. To Globetars, the reason you cannot see USA from UK is the same reason you can't see an ant at 200 metres, Kai. Yeah, spot on, man. Right. So how are we in the link side, Marshall?
Well, we're backed up on it, dude. Chaz obviously isn't coming. The link's going out to Will, so your link's out, Will. And I mean, you know, Merle did sort of mail ahead, and he's being very patient. Obviously, he understands that. You know, we're trying to give everybody a fair go, and hopefully we're having a certain amount of success with that. I got Colshy Katz is saying that he's going to collate whatever information he's got available. And that, you know, I mean, that's a great deal of help to us, because we did previously suggest that we were going to have some printouts ready. Now, obviously, that's got lost in the chaos. So thanks for reminding me on that, dude. And if anybody else can help with some, you know, templates for printout, then we'll package them up and make them available for everybody from the Activism channel.
Yep. What's that noise?
What noise have you got? I've got Swifts outside the window.
Yeah,
is that what it is?
That's what I can hear, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was seeing, when did I see a comment? Yeah, I have lost it.
Hi, Will.
Oh.
Hey.
How you doing? How you doing, man?
Pretty good. How are you?
Good.
So I just want to, it's going pretty good. I just wanted to come in and comment on the first thing the first guest said, which was not having time, because we're all working so much and everything else. And I just wanted to share my experience. For years, I haven't had a real job, so to speak, and that's given me a lot more life experience. And I've managed to get by, perhaps just the same, if not better, pay off my student loans and whatnot, just doing my own thing, busking, doing odd jobs. So maybe that's just some encouragement for people out there. But that he spoke my thought, because it's it's dismal thinking nobody has time. You know what I mean? Because I was handing out flyers, and even the people didn't seem to have time to even read those. Sometimes they'd come back and ask me. But I just wanted to say that this isn't really flat earth stuff, but for being like off the grid and that type of thing, natural building, cob houses, straw bales, they're really cheap. They last a long time. They have old straw bale or cob houses, Dell, there in England at 400 or 500 years old. And I know you said you're interested in maybe doing off the grid or something. So that's just something, no time's a problem. Well, not having a big house payment may free up some time,
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it. And the flyer thing went pretty well, except for there was one guy who was a bit defensive.
You're going to get that, mate.
And he had a bit of an issue. His first response, I think he might have been in a bad mood, because he's just like, what's this bullshit? And he wanted to associate it with religion and this stuff. So I had to tell him that's not the idea. And so he has pretty much dropped the relativity word like it was a good argument, And so I'm like, okay, you want to talk about relativity? I started to talk about like the Michael Morea experiment, and you know what he did? he just walked away.
Yeah, it's just a built-in response from people. And as soon as they gauge that you may know a wee bit more than they do, they soon realise the mistake and walk away, man. But
I think with him, it was, if he's wrong, that's like how much money and years of his life,
Yeah.
But anyway, that's all I wanted to share. Keep
Nice
it up.
one.
It's been a good show so far. Have a
Cheers,
good one.
Cheers, man.
Bye, Marshall, and everyone else.
Cheers, mate. Take it easy. Chaz, how you doing? You need to hit on the mic. You're muted, man. It's on the screen. There's a wee mic on the screen. You just click that and it should unmute you. It'll be at the bottom of the screen or the top of the screen. There should be a wee mic. It will probably be red for you right now. Click that. It should go white. I don't know why it doesn't give me the option here just to unmute people or whatever. Let's see. Oh, hang on. Try that. Right, we're getting everybody coming in at once here.
That's my error there, Tom.
Chaz, I would maybe try coming out and coming back in again, see if that works. When you come in, you should see a mic. There should be a wee set of symbols, maybe at the top or the bottom. You have one that looks like a mic, one that's like a camera, and they've got like a wee stroke going through them. Yours is probably red. If you click that, it should unmute you. Okay, no props. JM Truth, how are we?
Good. How you doing, Dale?
Yeah, I'm all right, man.
I've been busy as hell. with the garden stuff, and then doing all kinds of videos. I just did my first hang. You probably have an email somewhere. I sent you an invite. I know today was your live chat day, but I went ahead and just discarded the email.
Oh, I've not even looked at emails, man.
For 6 months, I've been wanting to do a live Flat Earth hangout, and I've been, after doing all the NASA tear apart videos and all this other stuff, I just never had a chance to do it. And today, Project Eli and I was like, look, I just gotta do my first hangout. So everyone's asking me to do it. So
excellent. How did it go?
It went great. I was surprised. We had a lot of people come in, and I think there must be some kind of lag because like a lot of times it'll show like 8 or 9 people, but then when you get off, it's like 100 and some odd views. So there must be some delay.
I think it's just because there's people come in and out. You know, somebody will maybe come and think you're fucking boring, and then they'll go away, and somebody else will come in and maybe stay. I think that's the way it works.
Oh, okay.
You may have a steady number of people who are watching, you know, but you're going to have traffic of people who are coming in and out.
Gotcha.
And then,
so I was just gonna say. So I've decided I'm gonna do I'm calling it a berserker video. If you remember the old term berserker, I got a bunch of people talking about photos and pictures, and so I'm gonna do a lesson on the difference between a photo and image. I downloaded a bunch of photos from NASA and the Apollo missions, and I'm going to tear through them and just kind of be as blunt as I can. It's going to be probably my last video doing the graphic, you know, the CGI tear apart. But I just decided I'm going to do, I don't care how long it is, I'm just going to rip apart videos for an hour or so.
Yeah. Next one.
No, I'm not taking my phone.
Oh, I can hear something going on. Is that the background of you?
Oh yeah, I've got my wife's in the kitchen talking to my son.
Yep.
So
nice one.
I just wanted to pop in because all the drama. I don't know if I did a video the other day addressing Matt Powerland and some of that BS crap that was going on. Normally I don't even address it. Like normally I totally like back away and I'm like, yeah, I don't have time for this. But I just got so fed up with the bullshit. I was like, you know what? I'm going to take a stand and kind of dress some of you guys down because this is all bullshit. We need to be building each other up and working on truth and not be running around with egos. I just can't stand that shit.
No, and it's hard because when you see you're being misrepresented and people telling lies about you, it's hard for you to sit there and just accept that. You know, you feel as if you have to step up and, you know, have your say in it, you know, and meet it head on. Which so good on you, man. I mean, that's the best method. You know, it'll expose the people who are determined to play new games. You know, that's really
absolutely.
Aye.
So, anyway, I just wanted to come in and say, hey, I heard you. You noted that I hadn't been around for a while, and I'm not on purpose. Just been busy trying to get shit done. So
that's it, man. We're on the same boat, so good on you, man. Keep at it.
Right. I will also be sending, if it's cool, I'll be sending you an invite one of these days when I do a hangout. Would love to have you over and just have you come over and chit chat.
Aye, nice one.
And I can't think of the guy, the zebra. I want to call him Zebra guy. I can't remember his name.
Marshall.
You're Marshall, yeah. Moderator. Sorry, bud. So anyway, I will. I'll talk at you later, bud. I just wanted to, like I said, come over and say, hey, what's up, and love your work, Del, always.
Cheers,
and we'll talk soon.
Nice one. Cheers for calling. So,
did you? Are we taking that Chad's going to get his tech sorted and pop back in?
He said he put the thumbs up and said that he was going to try again. I think.
Right. Okay. Cool. My list is shortened. Most of the mail I've just got is off-air information, not requests for links. So floor is open at the moment. I know John Dixon was wondering whether there'd be any time for him. So John, if you want to send a mail to nocurve@gmx.com. Obviously we'll hold the door for Chaz for a minute, see if he can get himself sorted.
Yeah. So how are we doing in the chat, people? Where are we? Where are we here? The Bible is all taken wrong. Apparently now look what they did. Cults everywhere and no astrology. I just wish people would, if they want to hold on to any of their faith and stuff, fine. But, let's try and find out exactly what the truth is. And then you can have confirmation on whether your books are real or true or not. M. Stone, so the most rioters believe the Holocaust was fake or hoaxed. Not interested. Leroy Foster, don't forget Merrill. Graham Ayers, good deal, how are you? I'm fine, man. Oops.
I'll just while we've got a minute, I'll just put out again that Tony's offering a lift from Bridlington to Paisley for the 24th, and his number is available. So it'll read out on the playback of the video. Is it right that he said to broadcast the phone number, though?
Yeah, he wants to give the phone number out for anybody to contact him.
Right, okay.
Want to share fuel costs.
Right, well, okay, Tony, I hope this is cool, dude.
That's fine, he says it in the message, man. Shout out for Flat Earth Scousers, Dale. Yep. Never walk alone. Unless you're an elephant farm. Sorry about that.
Okay, peeps, there is in the chat.
Antarctic Warrior, Davey, how you doing?
Okay, link going out to John, and then I think it's only fair to give Merle some time now. He's been very patient.
Pete Shee, Beyond the Magic Curve, you should fight Antonio, man. The money raised could pay for flat earth billboards or newspaper advertising space. My money's on the knob cheese. Whatever, Pete, you really shouldn't be going about trying to keep inciting that fucking shit. I said what I said at the beginning of this, and you know fucking fine well I said it at the beginning. I'm a man, and I don't deal with fucking drama and big fucking escapades of how many's at my back and how many's at your back. Couldn't give a fuck about any of that. Chat my fucking door, right? Stop running about trying to incite the same level of fucking mentality and then claiming you're some sort of truther and you know better. Fuck off. Unless, of course, you can put 10 grand on the fucking table that will go to use, and it's not going to be for fucking billboards. I would put that to use for people who really, really need it. It's exactly that type of shit that keeps that fucking same level of fucking mentality going round in circles. Get a fucking rest. This is not a fucking pantomime. We're in a serious fucking situation here, right? It's not, let's have another pantomime and, we'll raise money and get it. Fuck off. I want to tear the whole fucking thing down and free people for the fucking shit that's going on, right? I've no time for fucking morons.
Yeah, 2:30 in the afternoon.
Well, sure, you need to mute your mic there, mate.
Sorry, dude.
John, how you doing?
Hi, Dale. How you doing, Paul?
I'm all right, man.
Really enjoying your channel.
Cheers, man.
Just a few points, Dale. These arseholes that come in and try and disrupt the chat and all this for what your truth of the channel is all about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're trying to make you look like you're a fool, and they're bringing the Jewish thing into it. They're doing everything that they can to make you as you've said yourself, mate.
Yeah, well, that's that, mate.
Try to make people aware what you're trying to do is represent the truth. And there's certain people on the internet that don't like what the truth is because it goes what against their agenda is. And they put all these people in here, as you've said in your previous content, to divide us. Because that's what they're all about.
Yeah, that's it, mate. You know, they're just trying to...
Truth's about Dale,
That's it. It's subjective facts we're looking at here. And my question is, you know, what I'm involved in is what shapes the earth. And I can see again the comments there going into the comment box. We'll talk about the illegal name fraud. You fucking, I'm not talking to you, John, I'm talking to these people. You go and fucking talk about legal name fraud. Set your own fucking platform up, set your own hangouts up and talk about it, you're fucking blue in the face. Don't come here telling me what I have to talk about. Piss off, right?
Well, this is what they do, Dale. They do this. They set up their own platforms. These people have an agenda and they string along people and then they just talk shite. There's no substance to what their channel's about. But your channel does have substance and these cunts didn't like that.
Yeah, well, that's it. They couldn't foresee a common, you know, platform and common people trying to work things out and get it together, you know. And it's a real issue for them. As I say, anybody who wants to look through the back catalogue, it's been the same message the whole way through. And now because it's gaining traction and some popularity, they're trying every fucking trick in the book. They're throwing all sorts of propaganda this direction and trying to slander and make things out a certain way. But really, I couldn't give a fuck about that because if people are determined to see through it and get out of it, then you know they'll recognise that it's absolutely no sweat to me at all. I'll just meet it head on every time they try it. You know.
Well, there's people in chat as well that are going on about Dell's a leader. I ken you're not a leader because you're not my leader. But what you've done has made me think for myself, Dell.
Yeah. Well, again, it's just me. I can only be me. Set out my stall, walk my walk, and if I've got something new to add to your life, you know, it's the same in every aspect. There's something about you, John, that you know, if I spend time you speak to you, you're going to, you know, say things or you've got certain knowledge that's going to be useful to me. That's what it's about, mate. You know.
And likewise, Dell, you know what I mean, on a personal basis.
Right. I mean, it's because I know how to play the guitar doesn't somehow mean I've got a higher stature than you. It's fucking ridiculous. But it's that type of mentality they're trying to keep and maintain. You know, keep people in it.
For you, I can play the guitar too.
I can play better than you, John.
Oh, you're the leader. You're the best. I'm glad the light's on so I can see you, Dale. Put that light on so we can see Dale.
You're no far from me. Come on, I'll sign your bum cheek for you.
Sign it too. And if no, I'll give you a ring. Listen, mate, I just came in to put the thumbs up in that and keep up the good work, boys.
Nice one, John. Thanks very much, mate. Same yourself.
No worries. I'll have fun and
take it easy, man. Like the same way IPS sets his stall out and does what he does. I don't have anything against any of these people. It's not personal for me. I wish people would stop bringing that here. You know, if you want to call somebody a troll or whatever, away and call it to them. Right? I'm really not interested in any of them. You know, I'll meet things when I see them and I'll express myself when I see it. And that's it. As far as it goes, I'm not going to start a campaign against this platform or that platform. Forget about it. Just let them go on with it. Whatever their walk is will be, you know, and if people can see what that is and they experience it, then they'll learn what they learn from it. Just let it go. Yeah, it's this attitude of trying to control each other that's the real fucking problem. And because you disagree with somebody in one point, you know that's them to be demonised and shut down altogether. And as soon as they have a bad quality a point, that's it, demonised and shut them down. Come on, fuck, you know, rise up and fucking raise the game a wee bit. The game is much more subtle than just fucking pointing a finger.
Hi, Mo.
Good day, Marshall.
How you doing, man? I won't talk too much because I've got busyness in the other department, mate. But good to see you, man. Sorry for the wait. You know the way it goes, man.
Clock's ticking, Marshall.
Yeah, I know. I'll be sacked in a minute, man. All right, cheers. I've got to get back to this, dude. So I'll chat to you later, yeah?
Yep.
You doing, Meryl?
Good day, Del.
Hello, man.
Yeah. I just listen. I've been in the chat and I've been tuned in since you started, and you know, Jovian talking about what it's like being in a job that's, you know, not the best job in the world, obviously, or he doesn't feel like he's getting, you know, like deep fulfillment out of it, and all the different angles of what people go through. Just recently I was coming back to that wavelength, you know, of that kind of deeper reality of why are we all here in this place? And say if it was just you on Earth, I've actually saw a movie about that once. It's called The Quiet Earth, and a weird science experiment goes on, and a guy wakes up and he is the only person on Earth, and he goes, you know, yeah, it's kind of good. It goes into like shopping malls, and there's no one there, and then eventually he finds a couple of other people, and they're all trying to figure out, you know, what the hell's going on. But the only reason I'm bringing it up is because it's amazing. I mean, I don't know the exact number, but there are a lot of us here, and everybody's got their own ideas about, you know, how this should be and how this should be. And I've heard a lot. I mean, I keep coming back to when I was a teenager as well, and I was in high school, and people started asking me, "Oh, what do you want to be when you grow up?" And that's when I started hearing those ideas first of what is this system we're in? And it does sort of, it's interesting that, you know, just the older you get, like I said, I was just trying to figure out what was going on with Donald Trump. The next thing I know, a link comes up on YouTube saying flat earth, and I was like, I didn't even click on it. I was like, I'm not going to click on that. But it came up a few times, and you know, my life hasn't been the same since I clicked on a YouTube link. So people can say, oh, it's just YouTube, but if I didn't click on that link, I wouldn't even know about this, because again, it was something that I wasn't really ever questioning. It wasn't on the table. There wasn't anybody around me who was going, hey Merle or whatever, have you thought, or have you realized that the globe doesn't exist? It's just in your imagination. You know, if someone said that to me, I'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know, how can you even say that? And it's like, well, you know, you should look into it. You should, you know, there's all these claims out there that you might have just taken for granted it on face value. And that's where it started to get interesting for me, because I did take it seriously, and I looked at everything I could find. And, you know, it wasn't easy. And, you know, and like I was saying to you the other day, we're not out the woods yet, but just using logic and common sense and being patient and fucking really looking at it properly. Because I came across something this week that you guys might find interesting. It's from a smaller channel called Iron Realm Media, and there's something on that channel that is kind of, well, anyway, apparently rich people people are going down to Antarctica, and there is some kind of channel and there is some kind of edge. And apparently there's 1,000-foot, I'll send the video, I've got the video. Like I said, it's a smaller channel, and it's just being open-minded. I'm not saying this is fact.
Yeah.
But on that video, there's a photo of almost like a wall of water.
Right.
And they were saying that it's this energy field that for a while there, when you got to this edge point, electrical equipment would shut off. It's very magnetite, or it's something, unusual, not like our technology. And apparently you can pass through it. But the thing I found most interesting was they said that it has some kind of healing properties too. And apparently, some people have gone down there and, I don't know, touched it and again, you're like, hang on, is this the abyss? Is this the new Hollywood blockbuster? But you come across things researching and trying to find stuff out. And like you say, direct experience until you know what's what and what's official. Because that's what this has done for me, Del. Like, even when we start getting to the point where critical mass is coming round and people are just not even demanding real answers, they're just more requesting information and truth in a calm way. Who are we going to trust in that situation as well? Science, the government to provide those answers? Like, see, we really need to get this thing in order of this discernment, logic. I keep coming to the realization this is all a trust issue, because the trust that's what's gone off the table, and all the people we were meant to trust fucking duped us.
Yeah.
And they know that, and we know that, and you mentioned the thing of honor, and that's long gone. So the honorable thing that's happening is here. I know that, and I mean, I've haven't been super active with it, but I did notice just last week a few of the people I mentioned it to, they were open, and because I presented it calmly, there was no problem. There was an open-mindedness, and it wasn't like no one got stuck in it. There wasn't a debate.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was just like, okay, I'll look into that, or fuck, I've never thought of that. And,
that's it. You find that indirect approach works wonders, mate.
And just because people haven't ever thought of it before doesn't mean they're stupid.
Yeah.
It might be that first initial thing, like they've just come across it. Like, I'm July 1st, I'm coming to middle of the middle journey, the halfway point. And if you live to 80, and I mean, there's been times in my life where I've been looking around going, what the fuck is this place? I don't, what do I really want to contribute here to myself?
Yeah.
And but after coming across this, I really hope I am around for as long as possible. I'm trying to stay healthy and get fit again, because I still think the greatest years and the true potential of the human species is really yet to really come into play.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it's been great. It's okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're fine. You hear, I've always been a little bit interested in history, and you hear about the Renaissance, just some kind of time when Earth seemed to be a nice place to be. And there's no reason where I'm starting to run scenarios, because like there's a channel, isn't it? Some awakening from mind control. Not so much his channel, just that idea of your brain has had a veil lifted. It's now free to have a much wider scope and contemplation. So you run scenarios of what the future could actually be like. And, sometimes you'll go, depending what mood you're in, it could go a little bit dark and you need a torch. And then other times you're in a more positive frame, and you can imagine a much brighter, positive world where everybody everybody's on the level, and it isn't all hierarchical and people being held down and it's unfair. And, you know, I think it's a natural thing to run scenarios. That's what this thing does.
Yeah.
There's a lot going, imagination, reflection, you know, it's always doing that.
Yeah.
And the last thing I want to say to you about moods and emotion, look at nature. Look at the different weather patterns on a day-to-day basis. It's always moving and shifting and changing. We're like that too.
Yeah, and if that's the way we should be, but there's been so many restrictions put in place mentally, physically, emotionally, that it's causing real problems. You know, it's not been allowed to flow. But that's what we're looking to unblock and allow to happen, just as you say. You know.
And a lot of people on TV, I think we forget they've got scripts a lot of the time. They're reading off a teleprompter. That's a lot of their real emotions are being suppressed, and they're like, "Hello, National 9 News," and they go into a mode, and then they get off camera, and then they might scratch their balls or whatever. It's not until they get off camera. All the real hidden.
No, they're putting a persona on, and everything's done. It's NLP. It's done in a specific way, put you in a certain state, frame of mind, and it's serious and fear, and it's this is the way of the world. And it's all performance, man. It's done deliberately. It's not objective.
Yeah. And there is something in people just being themselves. I used to hear that as well in high school, because some people. It's funny they keep going back to high school, because I'm nowhere near high school. I'm 25 years out of that place. Yeah. But I remember a lot of people would sometimes see a movie and then they'd start acting like a character in the movie or do the lines.
Yeah.
And I think people get a bit confused about who they are, and then something they see, and then they start thinking they're that, or they start picking up things from music and movies and start applying it to their own personality.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know everyone knows that, but it's funny. It's funny that there's this thing of believing your own bullshit.
Exactly, mate.
Yeah.
So many people out there that believe they're in fucking bullshit in their own height.
Yeah. And that's why when somebody's just being authentic, it slaps some people in the face, because they're so used to all the other things.
Yeah, all the projections and the fakeness that they push out there, trying to portray themselves in a certain way. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
I get no. What were you gonna?
No, you go on.
Yeah, I just I needed to take a little bit of a break from it all, because I was having so many late nights, and I actually got really inspired, and I'm working on a video, and I haven't started making some music yet, but I'm gearing up for that. But time's just whipping by. It's amazing that I've really noticed a difference in time. I don't know about yourself, but it's just whizzing.
Yeah.
And I feel there. I'm so grateful that this is happening. I really am, and my emotion level is stabilizing. And I encourage people to stay with this, because this might sound funny, but it almost feels like the flat Earth thing is about so many different things. It's not just about flat Earth itself, because that's always been there. However you want to come at this, the Earth is the Earth. It's always been there. If it wasn't there, fucking where would we stand?
So it's just what it actually is, though, mate. That's what we're interested in. We want to know. And for me, the rest of it follows. I need the foundation before I start venturing into these other avenues. Although I still do that, personally in my own mind.
How can you not?
Exactly, mate. And I relate totally what you're saying. The late nights. And for me, when it first started, the first 6 months, it was like that continually. It still is. I mean, it consumes you. You're waking up and it's there every single day. It's incredible. It's really something. But I can totally relate to that.
I really am grateful, though, even though I don't have it all pegged. I would much rather be where I am now than where I was I've never said this before, but I've only started to realize it. Psychologically and emotionally, that thing of being in space and spinning around and all that, somehow that was fucking me up.
Of course. It's the psychological foundations, man. I keep saying that, if you're trying to conceptualise and, play with your imagination about what life is and what it means to exist and why you're alive, and you're not seeing that that's all happening, based on this assumption that you've held that you live on a sphere, it's flying through space, it's blah. There seems to be no explanation. Everybody's in bewilderment, frantically trying to figure it out. As soon as that penny drops, everything becomes clear, and you can start to eradicate all the nonsense from your mind. And although we don't know the full dimensions, it still feels much better, much clearer.
It's clean.
Yeah.
Being clean about it.
Yeah.
Not tainted. And it always used to bug me that why are they going off to all these other worlds? Why have you got to go inhabit Mars and all these? What about here?
Yeah.
Why not get this joint really rocking?
Yeah.
There's plenty of things to attend to down here.
That's it.
Where are you going? Where are you going with rockets, you fucking dickheads?
They want to dangle that carrot so that we're not sitting hypothesizing and philosophizing about existence and talking to each other. It's just this, let's get away, this is a mess, and let's run away, and let's figure it out. As you say, if we're here, let's fucking rock this place. Let's make this that's what I say to people all the time. If this is where we have to be, this place should be a huge fucking playground, full of expression, full of art, full of playful people expressing themselves. There's nothing to fear for that. As I say, even as a kid, it'd be like, why is it not just fun? What the fuck is going on here? Everybody's fucking stuck in this serious, bewildered state.
And when we go on holidays, we would have fun for the most. There might be some annoying bits, but we would have fun. And then we'd have to go back to school or back to work or whatever our responsibilities were.
Yeah, fuck that. Let's fucking use the resources to make the place enjoyable.
Yeah. And that doesn't mean that there's no work to do or like somebody would still, No,
but if you're contributing to something that's empowering and freeing for people and it's creative expression, then it's no work. It's only work as we know it as doing something that you don't enjoy, and that's just fucking lunacy as far as I'm concerned. You can call it whatever you like. It's fucking mental illness, and we stand for it. People let it happen.
I wanted to help install solar panels for a while. I really wanted to do that. I couldn't get a job doing it. It was something I wanted to do, but I didn't even have the option. And I find a lot of the time, a lot of the things I really want to do, I'll apply myself to anything I want to do. I'll apply myself to anything I can think of. But the option isn't always there, Del. I don't know if it's the same in Scotland, but in Australia, you get promised a lot, but it doesn't always deliver on the promise. And that's what people are getting savvy to. They're fucking being lied to.
Yeah,
let's get strong in truth. No, fuck this bullshit, guys. They're leading us up the garden path on a wild goose chase. Yeah. We all know it. We know it.
Yeah, but it's changing, man. People are, as you say, they're getting fed up with it,
Yeah, and that's fair enough. If a few of us get a bit pissed every now and again and yell and kick and bark, that's fair enough.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
You don't have to break a car or smash a window or
anger doesn't always entail that you're going to hurt somebody or abuse them physically or anything. It's a nonsense. It's part of this lunacy that you shouldn't have this emotion, but that emotion's fine, and you're not allowed that emotion. But it's fucking nonsense,
More censorship, isn't it?
Aye, trying to shut you down. Yeah. It's not on.
Natural thoughts, natural feelings, and more roboticness.
Yeah.
Take the human element out of being human.
Fuck all this. It's all this control and people trying to control each other. People are just so insecure. That's fucking a huge part of the problem. That's where as soon as you start trying to control another, sentient being, you're going to fucking cause a shitstorm. People need to realise that we can't control each other unless I am physically imposing upon your free will. Then you have every right to deal with me whatever way you see fit. Anything else, what's the problem? It's that simple. It really is that fucking simple.
You know the way I try to break it down, Del, sometimes? I live in a street. So in this street I live in, somebody could be into heavy metal. Next door to that, you could have somebody into Jesus.
Yeah.
Next door to that, you could have somebody really into cooking. Next door to that, you could have somebody really into science. Next door, on and on. All these differences, they're living next door to each other.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
There's different people. There's different points of view. That's what makes the world interesting.
Yeah.
We're not clones. We're one off. We're all unique, one off.
Yeah.
And we've been put in a bloody can and told you can only be like this, and as soon as you get out the can, all hell's gonna break loose.
And what happens? Nothing. You feel better.
Yeah. And we're not the problem. We've never been the problem. Even the punks, when the punks stood up and they knew that stiff establishment, you know, and they were angry and they had their fashion. A lot of it was fashion. And then they expressed their rage in music and ideas. So, you know, and then, you know, grunge and hate.
Free expression without the insecure need to control anybody else's free expression. You know, this is the problem. So again, it comes down to, you know, the stalls are out, people make stalls and other people can join that stall if they like. You know, and as long as they're not out trying to impose on anybody else's free or shut anybody else, you know, then there's no issue.
So you say like a market?
I just mean, you know, it's the control, it's the trying to shut each other down and control what each other is allowed to do and not allowed to do or say or express. That's where the problems come, you know. Without that...
When you say put your stall out, what do you mean?
Well, be you.
Yeah.
That's it. You know, I'm me, and who I am, I don't go about imposing on anybody else's free will. Therefore, what's the issue? None. Where does the issue come? The issue comes when you have insecure people, or people are that way inclined, or that their mind, the way it's wired, whatever, that want to control that and manipulate it for their ends. Now, that's when we start getting issues, and for me, that's what we have to identify. We have to identify that type of mind, its behaviours, its patterns, and its methods. You know, and if we can recognise that, then we eradicate it. Because as soon as you become aware of it, that's it. It's game over, and that's all it requires. Just you to become aware of it. You know.
Yeah, I appreciate it, because trust me, when I was growing up, bigger kids did pick on me because I took a while to kick in, and it's physically, it's psychologically, it's emotionally. They'll tease you, or they'll say, you know, or they'll physically hold you, and they used to do stacks on, and so a bunch of people like get on top and you're on the bottom. I mean, a lot of that stuff that happens when we're young keeps going when we're adult, just in a different way.
But again, I have questions. Is that, you know, these types of behaviours based on a result of, you know, how things are in life, you know, as regards to your culture, the programme that goes on, the family life structure, you know, these things are again all part of the mess. So, you know, I don't know how, you know, a different structure, how kids would behave, obviously it would be different. And, you know, and this structure again nurtures that type of mind, bully, psychopathic type mind, and it rewards it, you know, and that's the problem, you know. And for me, they're a minority, mate. They really are a minority. The majority of people are just willing to live and let live and get on with it.
Yeah. I mean, although I did encounter some pretty not the best behaviour, my life and growing up was more positive than it was. I had probably 90% positive experiences and 10% negative.
Yeah.
So, you know, in the big scheme of things, it was far more positive. And the people I met at school, and even my teachers, not all my teachers were idiots. I had some really nice teachers and people who cared about me and tried to get me on the right track and encourage me. And that's what humans sort of need. You know, we all need a true foundation. And I'm, you know, midway, but I'm starting to look at kids and teenagers, and I don't want to steer. If I could help, if I had the option of helping someone or leading them astray, help someone.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm not trying to be all philosophical, but to me it's sort of breaking down pretty simple.
As a part of the manipulation has got people to a point where they're scared to help each other. You know, they fear each other, they don't trust each other, you know, and that helps to destabilise and keep people divided. People just need to trust. And that's part of the thing for me, you know, with the street interviews, and what I learned myself from my own experience was just how willing people are to engage and be polite and, you know, be nice, for even just for the sake of being nice, to make days pleasant. So it's incredible. I think, you know, people yearn for that, they crave it, but this fear is at just such a fever pitch that it's hard for people to break through it. They're so loaded with, you know, judging you before they know you, and, you know, preconceived ideas about who you are based on how you look, how you speak. You know, people are loaded with all these triggers, and it's difficult. It's trying to break the cobwebs down so that people can see clearly, you know, and experience things for how they are, not for how they think they are, you know, or how they think each other are.
If you can just eat, I guess the thing I'm trying to say here is I've one time in a Hungry Jack's, I don't know if you have them in Scotland, but it's like a Burger King, like Burger King.
Yeah.
I turned to guy, and there was like a self-serve where you self-serve drink. And I turned to him and said something like, "Oh, you're going to get a Coke or whatever," and he just looked at me and just said, "There's just some people you shouldn't talk to, mate. I could kill you right now," sort of thing. And you're just like, "Oh my god!" Like, but then you talk to someone else and they're like, "G'day, mate. How's it going? How's your night going?" Yeah. And I've caught a lot of public transport in life, like trains and trams, buses. Not always just being on my loans. And I think sometimes, even though there's a fear and people are a bit suspicious of each other, you can get past that. Yeah. Especially once you're open. Like, if you're willing to give someone a go and they're willing to give you a go, you can meet somewhere in the middle.
That's it.
And I know you know that, and everyone knows that. I'm not telling it's no revelation, but the basics in the complicated, fast-paced world we live in, sometimes the basic stuff is what's getting pushed to the side, you know?
Yeah.
So that's the only reason I'm talking like that, because all I'm trying to do, like everyone, I hope, is just make sense of all this confusion and find the common sense, use the rational, use logic. I mean, Spock, you know, Star Trek. It was all logic, wasn't it? Live long and prosper.
Yeah. I mean, we have creative art and expression, but we need logic in order to understand each other and progress forward with each other. It's not like just being a robot all the time, you know. But in regards to things that do to do with society and things that we share, we need to base it on logic and reasoning and natural science and empirical facts, you know. So there's no corruption, you know, and nobody's using it to their advantage above anybody else, you know. So it can be a fine balance, man, you know. It's just a matter of having that balance and understanding it so we can put things in perspective and place them where they need to be, you know.
And that's why it's important, because when we have the truth of the situation and actually know what reality is, then from there you get perspective. Yeah. Then you get grounding. Exactly. Then you can make sense of things because you've got
That's why I keep saying, with, you know, it's fine to talk about these things and how we could maybe live, but for me, we really need that foundation first and foremost. Without the foundation, you know, what are we trying to reason on? I mean, what are we trying to?
It's core.
That's it, mate. That's it. It's just like any game, you know. Put you in a fucking tennis court and tell you it's fucking rugby. You're going to run about confused, tripping yourself up, falling over the net, never scoring a goal, and trying to wonder for your whole life what the fuck's going on when you never realised that it was a tennis court you were playing on. You know, that's just an analogy I'm using, but it makes a point, you know.
Yeah, I get it. And the thing is, you hear sometimes the checkers and chess. You know, the big dudes are playing chess and we're in the dark playing checkers.
That's it. Yeah.
And that's not fair.
Of course it's not. It's not a fair game, mate.
No.
You know? We all deserve the foundation, and then we'll see a fair game. Yeah.
Oi, take care. I'll tune in soon, eh?
Nice one, mate. I'll catch up with you.
Yeah, definitely. Good on you, Dal.
Take it easy, Mel. Take care, mate.
Yeah. Laters, Mel. It's got a surprise visit from Davey coming in, Dal.
Oh, nice one. Excellent.
Davey, your link's out, mate.
Nice to see Merrill. People giving Merrill props and support. Same as everybody else that comes on. Good stuff, people.
Yeah, Architect, you're next up, dude. We're just waiting on Davey for a minute. Davey, we're holding the door for you, man.
Yeah, Davey, Antarctic Warrior. Hurry up, you wee Irish midget. Press the button.
Put the glass down, mate.
You're right, William Carney, Green. That's exactly the situation we're in.
Oh, I'm in trouble now. How you doing, Davey?
What about you, bro?
How's it going, mate?
Hey, Marcel. Can you see me?
No, but we can hear you fine, dude.
I've got my webcam down to the lowest resolution that I can. Any way to just mute the video?
No, you're cool. You're cool, dude. Just go like that, Dave. Yeah, we all know what you look like, man.
Do you want me to mute your video, Davey? I'll mute your video for this end if you want.
Well, you don't want to look at my ugly mug.
Can't see you anyway, David.
Well, I see you're pretty.
No, but that would be pretty cool. But the webcam's not on at the minute. I don't know what's happening. I mean, it's plugged in. Hold on a wee second. Hold on. You're just gonna now. You've got me as you get a big husky. You've got a
much better looking. It's a far prettier image, man.
You cheeky monkey. Here, hold on. Well, that'll do. That'll do.
Yeah, we can hear you fine, mate.
How's everybody keeping?
I'm good, man. Plodding on. You know how it is. You there, mate?
Can I ask you a question, big bro?
Of course.
What is with all the hostility against you as you know, as a channel? You know.
No, this is it, mate. What else am I supposed to think? The hostility only comes at me. You know, I don't offer the hostility to anybody else. You know, so it just seems to me to be an obvious game to try and discredit and sway people away from here for whatever ends. But it's not coming from me, mate. You know, I'll just meet things head on, and try and be amicable and understand what's going on. But these people are no love for that. They're basically running about. If you get the YouTube on, mate,
hold on a wee second. I'll close down. I've just got me other emails. That's it.
It's maybe just me that's Steven.
No, I'm not. I'm not on any other. I'm using Google Chrome at the minute. I always use I use Firefox. Do you know what I mean? But it was fucking around whenever I was listening to you, on the live hangout. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Can you hear me okay? Am I coming across okay?
You're crystal clear, man.
Right, that's okay, big bro. No, it's just you know that I stay away from all the drama and the how could you call it, the division within the community. I don't get involved in that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it was just whenever Matthew Boyland, whatever you want to call him, I had respect for him from the start of this. But I don't want to say I've lost respect for him, but I do think he's trying to gain, some kind of, I don't know, let's just say it's not so much division, it's more like just to create, some kind of, explosion within the flat earth, the flat earth.
It's like struggle for these people, and it seems to be a bit popularity for them. But it's fine if you want to go away and try and garner yourself some popularity, but you're not going to go away and try and portray me and my message and what I've done in some sort of negative light by trying to associate and label me as a Nazi or an anti-Semite or any of these ridiculous fucking claims that they start throwing.
Exactly, big bro. Exactly. Dale, here, brother, I have been with you from the start, and I will be with you till the end, and that's a given. Do you know what I mean? No. It might look like I don't support your channel anymore, right? And that might be the way it comes across. But I have lost interest in the flat Earth discovery, the side of things, because of the nitpicking, the fucking nitpicking that goes on.
Yeah.
Because it's a fucking it's nonsense. This is your word. It's a fallacy in itself. It's a fucking fallacy because there isn't a right. Okay.
See, there wasn't a problem up until the point where you open up a live event and you start giving a voice to many different people, and people are starting to come together. That's where the real fucking problem is for them, mate.
Grassroots, big bro. Grassroots, right from the start.
Yeah, they don't fucking like it because they can't control that.
Well, that's. I mean, if anybody, the guy I heard 3 or 4 days ago, Russian vids hit you up. Do you know what I mean? That was pretty sound. Now I don't know what way you take that, but Russian vids doesn't really gather with anybody. Do you know what I mean? But Russian vids did a small, it was 42 seconds long, and he hit you up, bro. Do you know what I mean? And then the next thing, everybody's fucking attacking you. What's that shit all about?
It's been going on since way before that, man. It's been going on for a long time. I think it's just because I'm outspoken, mate, and I point at things, and then obviously creating a live platform and giving people a voice. It's all these accumulation of these types of things, and we know that if it's not under control of any agency, and it's not their thing, they're going to attack it left, right, and centre. So I expected it.
Did you see that coming?
Well, of course, mate. Of course, every bit of it. I can see the games that have been trying since way back. And again, I've just used certain parts of it for my own benefit. It gives me the opportunity to point at certain things or topics that I've covered and that I want to highlight. But these people think that they're going to get you on some sort of ego thing or trick you into, their game and the way they want to play it. They can go and take a fuck to themselves. It's a common man's game now. People are taking back control, and these clowns can go and take a fuck to themselves. They can try whatever they like.
Yeah, but you get this happening. I mean, you get snippets of the smaller channels put up snippets of hangouts and stuff.
Yeah.
And you're kind of saying to yourself, do we not have a common goal here? Like we want to know where we are. Okay, this might be a place that was created by some greater force for us, to experience the five senses and maybe explore the sixth. But the point being is every avenue, everything that you see on the television and everything, everything in the movies, it's all gatekeeping.
Yeah.
Everything is gatekeeping, and they give you snippets. You know what I mean? And that's what I used to do in my videos. I used to, play a flat Earth video, and then a presentation, and then I used to add in, something about the moon or something about the flat Earth mentioned in movies. And the thing about it is, people will be willfully fucking, I don't know, ignorant or whatever way you want to put it. As long as they're watching TV, their mind's going to be poisoned, brother. Because it's fair enough letting your kids watch cartoons and stuff. You know what I mean? Cartoon Network and stuff, SpongeBob and that.
It's a subtle message. It's a subtle message.
I'm not having a go at symbolism. I'm not into symbolism because I think it's
even in the narratives. Even the narratives of cartoons or any of these children things are sending subtle messages. You really have to screen a lot of the stuff. Take responsibility. If I have to do that with my kids, and sometimes I'm irresponsible and I forget and I'm lazy. And they'll pick the iPad up and they're watching whatever they like. But you have to really look at it. There's a lot of subtleties in these things. It's not just the symbolisms. It's the narrative or the story, whatever's going on within the cartoon that's important as well.
Exactly, Dale. Exactly, Dale.
But getting back to that, I don't want to be involved in any of this stuff either, mate. And anybody who knows me knows that. It's not what I'm about. I just want progress and to find out where the fuck I am. But the fact of the matter is that there's a definite opposer, and we have to identify it. It's not going to, walk up and show us its badge. It's subtle, and we have to recognise it.
It's very subtle.
Yeah.
It's very subtle, brother. It's very subtle. There was a video. I'm not saying any more about it. I'll drop you the link for a video that I watched the other day. Okay. I don't want to push that stuff on people. You give me your thoughts on it. You know what I mean? That's between me and you. Yeah. You know what I mean? But thinking about things in a logical term, in logic, what way do you think this is going to go forward in your mind? I mean, to
be honest, I mean, I've got an ideal scenario in my mind, but realistically, I really don't know. Right? For me, I said that earlier, expressed that, it just feels as if it's snowballing itself now, and it's pretty much kind of buckle in and see what happens here.
Buckle in, yeah, definitely.
For me, if I look at the patterns and the way the game seems to be being played, it would seem to me that there's another deception on its way, and they're desperately trying to maintain a lower level of mentality with people, keep the pop idol culture, keep people in that same frame of mind, and try and have this slow but sure progression into another deception. That just seems the way it is to me. It's no, I'm not stating that as a fact, or I think that's exactly what's happening. These are just ideas that I look at, but the evidence is there. The way the game's being played, what's going on around about us, it would suggest that there's a definite opposer here who's that's hell bent on keeping people playing these stupid fucking dramas, idolising. They're not offering people real tools of discovery, how to get out of it or have any real progression. It's just a pantomime,
Well, Del, I mean, like you see, when I've been working a lot lately, okay, and whenever I leave home, Shadow tends to, my dog, he tends to howl a lot, okay, whenever I'm not at home. So, I can't leave him in the living room because he'll eat the remote controls or the fucking, anything you can find is plastic, he'll fucking eat it. Do you know what I mean? But the point being is, I put for music on for him during the day.
Yeah.
And whenever I arrive home and I come in to the house and I see, some of the symbolism and the videos and stuff, I don't watch TV anymore, big bro. I just don't do it. I use my time. I concentrate on. I download, movies and TV programs and stuff, and just to see what kind of, what programs programming's going on within them.
Yeah.
If you understand what I mean. But you get you get all this, and the kids are listening and watching these music videos.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's.
I know, that's what I'm saying about screening.
Sorry, bro. Go ahead.
Saying about screening, especially with the kids, trying to have a look at it and see what's there, see what messages it's trying to give off, and even just, talking about it openly with the kids and showing them exactly what it is, a different way of looking at it. It's just about educating them. Take responsibility.
But they are telling an awful lot of truth within the music videos. If take away the sex and stuff, for young minds. I mean, like some of the videos are risque, to say the least. Do you know what I mean? But sorry, Del.
Same as the lyrics as well in some of them.
Yeah, well, the lyrics as well. Yeah, but on the radio, the lyrics are going to play the same. It's going to play the same thing out. But I mean, I can't remember the video that I watched, or the music video that I watched. I can't remember who did it. Dark hair, dark eyes, quite chunky. And you see, if you see water and you see the constellations of the stars, and then you see like a 3-dimensional triangle, in blue, and it's like floating around, and you kind of wonder to yourself, what's that all about? It's got nothing to do with the video. It's got nothing to do with the music video in general. Do you know what I mean? And they're showing all this symbolism. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that said, big bro, I don't want to bore you. I don't want to bore your.
I'm going to wrap up shortly. 3.5 years, man. So.
Is that how long you've been on for?
Yeah.
You better get to bed, my friend.
Going shortly, man.
I'll stay in the chat, big bro, and peace and love to you and your loved ones. Okay.
You too, man.
And I'll talk to you soon.
Take it easy, bro.
All right, good man. I don't know how to click me off, so you just check me out. Love you, big bro.
You too, man. We'll speak to you shortly.
Keep her straight, keep her flat.
What's up, man?
Okay, peace.
Take it easy, man.
You too.
So, there wasn't any links anyway, was there, Marshall?
I've got some people waiting to, but I mean, I think people are going to have to appreciate that we've put a long shift here, and maybe we'll have time during the week to call in, or we'll send them back next Saturday. Yeah.
Aye, definitely. We'll see what happens through the week, maybe the next couple of days, maybe even tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. Apologies to anybody who was waiting to come in. But 3.5 hours, getting tired. Appreciate everybody that came on. People with messages. I've missed a couple of phone calls. I can only apologise. I'll try and go again live in the next couple of days. I'll put a wee advert up for it. Peace. Cheers, Marshall, Magumba, Jonah Worms, everybody in chat, everybody who came. Much appreciated. Take it easy.